Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. Hope you're having a wonderful day. What day is this? Are we on Thursday? I honest to God have no idea. Yeah, it's Thursday. Oh, that's right. Biden's supposed to give his big immigration speech today. Yay. Everybody excited about that? Yay. Can't wait to hear what that. Well, actually, I know part of what that idiot's going to say. I just can't wait to hear him trip over it as he expresses it. I'm well. Hope you guys are too. And let's just kind of get into the show for tonight. I want to start with something that I was not planning on talking about. You see, what happens so often is as I'm setting up the show, I'm still doing things in the background as I'm waiting, for this or that to take hold. And I tend to, check in on Twitter. Not always the best idea. There we go. All right. Reason up here. Welcome to the least professional monkey on the internet. Okay, there it goes. Beautiful. All right. So I'm minding my own business and I happen to open up Twitter. And that's when I see this lovely gentleman. This guy is an Antifa piece of shit. We are past the, we're well past the swearing deadline. This lovely Antifa piece of shit. Now I'm going to tell you what he did. But first, I'm going to tell you his sentence. Are you guys ready for this? This guy was sentenced today in court to time served. 2 days. That is his time served. 2 days. He also got a $25 assessment fee. Now I'm going to tell you what he did. Because literally, that is his entire sentence. Time served, which was 2 days, and a $25 fee. Back in, I want to say it was July. It was July, right? Yeah, July 11th. This motherfucker, this says assaulted 3 federal officers, which technically it was assault. But this is one of the guys who was blinding officers with the little laser rays, the laser pointers. He was busted and admitted to shining a laser pointer into the eyes of 3 federal officers, 2 of which were able to, avoid damage. The other one actually sustained prolonged eye damage because of it. 2 days and $25 for trying to blind people. That's our American legal system, y'all. That's our system. 2 days, $25 for blinding a federal agent. Fuck. I mean, how do you even have a decent conversation with people when that's the world we live in, where we have the January 6th stuff, which is seen as the most evil thing ever perpetrated on the American people. But this guy trying to blind federal agents who were defending the courthouse there in Portland, just a couple of days and $25. Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. That's fuck. All right. Yeah, so that's what I see. Minding my own goddamn business. And I'd like to thank Sean, who's usually there's Sean right there. Thank you, Sean, for sharing that. God bless. I mean, I'm kind of mad at you because it threw off what I was planning to do, but I couldn't help it and had to actually talk about that. But no, seriously, thank you for bringing that one to my attention. Good God. This is from the riots we watched. We were watching as this stuff was going on. Do you remember when we watched as they were doing the laser pointer shit? I'm fairly certain we even had that part on screen when we were watching it. There was a lot of it we couldn't do because, my crappy internet and stuff, but you could see it happen. And these guys were trying to blind these guys. They were remember they were standing up at the top of the building, and these assholes were shining lights up there, shining the lasers up there. Yeah. We talked about how damaging that can be to people's eyesight. Don't shine lasers in people's eyes. You're going to fucking hurt their eyes. Yeah, but 2 of the officers were able to, avoid contact with it, but the other one, it went it burned his retinas. Anyhow, that's fucking 2 days. 2 days. Not even like 30 days. You couldn't even give him 30 days for admitting to assaulting federal officers? No. And I'm sure I'm going to see all of the Democrats up there who've been talking about these are the people who defend us. I'm sure I'm going to see all of them going, I can't believe this happened. It should be so much more. No, wait. They're not going to say a fucking word about it. Not a damn word, because they're a bunch of shitbags. There's two kind of big stories I want to get into. I want to talk about the Idaho murder suspect. I was really hoping Jack would be here. I hope he's awake and he just hasn't seen the link yet, because he's followed that case a lot closer than I have. But the Idaho murder suspect from the Idaho 4, he was extradited to Idaho, and he's had his mugshot released in his pretty orange jumpsuit. That is one creepy looking dude, which, by the way, is not a reason to believe he's guilty just because he's creepy looking. Lots of creepy looking people don't kill 4 college co-eds, but 3 co-eds and a dude. I am intrigued by this case. One, how long it took. I'm curious to some of the things that are going on in the background. Like, it turns out that this guy, he changed his license plate like 5 days after the slayings, which is kind of interesting. But I think I'm going to hold off on that one. Hold off. Hopefully Jack will show up. If not, we'll pick it up later, of course. But instead, we're going to start with the title, I guess, which more of the goings on at the House Speaker's podium. We talked about it on the after party today. Kevin McCarthy, he just doesn't have the votes. He does not have the votes. They went through 3 or 4 more rounds. I forget what the total number at this point. And they all of the ones today turned out exactly the same. 201 for McCarthy. I don't even have this up on the screen. I just remember it. Give me props, guys, because my memory's working. 201 for McCarthy, 212 for Jeffries. Byron Donalds, who was the one that the Freedom Caucus was putting up today, he got 20 votes, and then 1 member voted present, which effectively means she didn't vote at all, and it actually lowers the number that is needed to win. The 3 rounds that I watched, it was exactly the same. I don't know if they did a 4th round. Honestly, I didn't pay attention. I went and had dinner and hung out with my wife for a while, and then I went to bed. And then I woke up and saw that Sean Hannity was being talked about. And I'm like, oh, God, what this idiot do now? Why are people... Nobody ever talks about Sean Hannity. Nobody cares about Sean Hannity. Well, Sean Hannity had Lauren Boebert up on his show today. And this was painful to watch. I'm not going to lie to y'all. It took me a while to get through this. It took me a while because this was, I named it properly on the thumbnail. It's a battle of the twits, because look, Lauren, sweetie, I need you to listen to me, okay? I think you're in the right place here. I really do. But you're not that intelligent. You're really not. And I don't know who keeps telling you you are, but you're not. And you're not a really good speaker either. So you're better off just being eye candy in the background. All right. And I don't mean that just because you're a woman. If you were ugly, I'd tell you you'd be better off just behind the scenes totally. But your only real contribution here is to vote no and look pretty. Let somebody smarter talk. Okay. And Hannity, I get it. You wanted to have a pretty girl on the show. And she's an idiot, so you could push her around a little bit. But dude, for fuck's sake, you could have been a man about this and had somebody on who could actually hang with you, who wouldn't put up with your bullying tactics. Because look, guys, he's a bully. It's how he does his interviews, and that's fine and stuff. But this is a bad look, homie. This is a real bad look, especially when you're doing it to simp for Kevin fucking McCarthy. You're out there as a Republican simping for McCarthy. I'm a conservative. I want that Democrat to run the Republicans. All right. It was painful to watch. Oh God, and we're gonna do it again. There's a moment that's gonna come up also in this that really pissed me. Sean said something that annoyed me in ways I haven't been annoyed since yesterday.
Hi, time now tonight for the Hannity Hot Seat, and tonight we're joined by a Republican who opposed Kevin McCarthy's bid for Speaker on every.
Is it me, or does it look like Hannity's face is melting into his jawline? He's starting to look like a pumpkin, if I'm being honest.
Every single ballot. That is Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert, and she says negotiations with McCarthy have been ongoing since the summer, but that her demands are not being taken seriously. Now, meanwhile, Kevin McCarthy's camp is now reportedly trying to determine which of the 20 votes against him are because of a policy disagreement versus a personal vendetta. Here now.
Which are a policy disagreement versus a personal vendetta. They can be the same, Hannity. They just don't like Kevin. He's an asshole who sold him down river over and 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 over again. He's a shitbag. You should have Kevin up here explaining why he's such a shitbag, but you won't do that because, well, you're simping for him. That's so disgusting to me.
Now, with reaction is Congresswoman Boebert. Now, Congresswoman, you tweet, Town Hall quoted you today saying the president, you said complimentary things about President Trump, needs to tell Kevin McCarthy that, sir, you do not have the votes. It's time to withdraw.
All right. I need to stop right here. Sean, you're supposed to be a news person. Town Hall quoted you as saying this. She said that during the hearing. She said that during the vote. When she got up there and nominated Byron Donalds, she said that. We talked about it on the after party today. It'll take Monkey 26 minutes to finish this video. How long is it? It's a 10-minute video. This is at least an hour, dude. How dare you sell me so short? But he quotes another news source instead of just saying, hey, you said this on the floor. One of your many interns couldn't go look it up to make sure she actually did say that. You had to quote a news source as though she said this in private or something. It was on C-SPAN, for fuck's sake. You could watch it live. I know this is a minor gripe, okay? Because it is what she said, and they did quote her as having said it. But instead of saying, hey, you said this on the floor during the nomination process, he had to quote another fucking news person. Am I wrong that just is lazy as shit? That is so fucking lazy. Question, why does McCarthy deserve the speakership? Besides seniority, that is. I'm not even positive he has overall seniority. But it's his turn, that's why. And honestly, I believe it's in this. Is it in this where Sean makes that argument? Basically, I want to say it's in here. We'll get to it later, but basically that's what it comes down to. It's his turn. It's her turn. I'm sorry, that's Hillary. It's his turn.
Let me turn the tables, Congresswoman. Kevin McCarthy has 203 votes. Your side has 20. So if I'm going to use your words and your methodology and your math, isn't it time for you to pack it in?
All right. Here's where we're really going to get to see Lauren Boebert is not that smart, okay? Because Hannity is doing something kind of dirty here. He says, you said that he doesn't have the votes, he should step aside. Can I turn the tables and say, you guys, you don't have the votes, you should turn aside? They don't need the votes. They have exactly as many votes as they need. Actually, they have more votes than they need. to stop him from becoming McCarthy. Sorry, I just read his name in chat. I hate when I do that. They have exactly as many votes as they need to stop him from becoming speaker as they need. In fact, they have 14 more than they need. They only need 6 to stop him. But Hannity, shouldn't you guys step aside? You don't have the votes. Yes, they do. And Lauren isn't smart enough to make that argument.
Your side to pack it in, considering he has over 200 and you have 20?
Sean, I understand the frustration. I promise you, but
I'm not frustrated.
He does
You didn't
not
answer
have the
my
votes,
question.
and we are hearing
I'm
from
not
many
frustrated.
people who are still voting with Kevin McCarthy, who
You're
are
not
very
answering my question.
supportive of what we're doing, and they're cheering us on. So there are more for us than are against us, and they are waiting for Kevin to cave.
Okay.
You know, the American people are certainly frustrated by.
Yeah, that just happened. Boebert, please go sit down and shut up. You're pretty. You are. You're a cutie. And I'm sure somewhere in your little brain there's good things happening, but it's not when it comes to rhetorical discussion. It's just not. You're not good at debate. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. The answer here is simple. We actually have exactly the number of people we have to do what we're doing. If they didn't have the people to do it, Kevin McCarthy would be speaker. They keep doing this like a zero-sum game, like it is an actual general election, like you guys were going out to vote for him and like, oh, he got the most votes. That's not how this works. He has to have a majority, period. He does not have those votes. They don't need a majority to stop him. They only need enough to keep him from getting a majority. And if she had a brain in her head, that's what she would have just argued. Unfortunately, she's cute, but mildly retarded.
I'm frustrated by you not answering a direct question.
Well, in fairness, it was a really, really, really stupid question, Sean. Like, borderline retarded enough that she should have been able to answer it.
You said to President Trump, you said earlier today that President Trump needs to tell Kevin McCarthy, you don't have the votes.
We need to come up with a consensus candidate to elect a Speaker of the House.
You don't have the votes, and it's time to withdraw.
He does not have the votes. It is time for him to withdraw. Yes, there's nothing wrong with that statement. In fact, it's literally true.
203. Your side has 20.
No, he does not have 203. You just said that wrong, Sean. It's 201. He had 202, but he lost one today. Yesterday, he had 202. He has 201 today. Sean, I can't let you go on that, especially if you're going to be this, hey, you got to answer me properly. Then you better have your facts straight.
Why is it time for him to withdraw and not you when he has?
Because he does not have the votes. Seriously, this is painful to fucking watch.
So many more votes.
Well, Sean, he needs 218, and he does not have 218. We've been trying
Neither
to work this out in.
We don't need it. And she never says this, and this drives me nuts. Neither do you. You don't have the vote. We have as many as we need. We do not need 218 votes. We don't, because they're not actually offering a specific candidate. They have had 3 different candidates so far. They've had Biggs, they've had Jordan, who didn't even want it, and now they've had Byron Donalds. They don't have to have a single guy that, yes, this is the guy we're staying with no matter what. All they need is somebody that's not McCarthy to keep him from getting in there. And Hannity here just tries to beat this over and over. And God bless her heart. She tried, I guess. You know, she did say, well, he doesn't have the votes. She tried, but she's just not that smart. She's just not. It really does hurt.
Private, as you said, for months. But Kevin McCarthy didn't even want to listen to us until his disappointing midterms. We all want a unified party, but this isn't chaos. It's a functioning constitutional republic. When everything is said and done,
okay, I like the cliche.
House Republican.
Did you hear what Sean Hannity just said? Did you? Hang on. I had to go back and listen like 3 times to make sure I heard that shit right. Listen to what Hannity kind of under his breath says when she says this is a functioning constitutional republic.
In private, as you said, for months. But Kevin McCarthy didn't even want to listen to us until his disappointing midterms. We all want a unified party, but this isn't chaos. It's a functioning constitutional republic. When everything is said and done,
okay, I like the
House
cliche.
Republicans.
Okay, I like the cliche. A functioning constitutional republic. I like the cliche. I like the cliche. You are simping so hard for McCarthy that our constitutional republic, just a cliche you like. Sean. You know, Alan Combs is rolling in his grave right now. He really is. Because he's like, man, I could have beat Hannity's ass on this one.
Will be stronger and better prepared to lead than we ever have before. I believe that this is what our founding fathers intended, and this is showing
yesterday
that
you
our
voted,
votes are working. Our votes aren't just a cast.
Congresswoman, I'd ask you not to filibuster.
I'd ask you not to filibuster. She's giving her perspective, you fucking shithead. She's actually being somewhat intelligent in the part she's saying right there. I'd ask you not to filibuster. You asked a question that is absolutely asinine, retarded. You tried to back her into a dumbass corner that doesn't matter worth a fuck because what you said is stupid. Oh, you guys don't have the votes either. They actually do. But she's filibustering by explaining why they're doing what they're doing, you know, which is reasonably what you would have had her on to do, right? That's what you brought her on for. Even if she's a retard monkey, at least she's giving pushback. Yeah, I hear you. She's just not the right person to be doing it. It would have been smarter to have Donalds up there. Byron Donalds is actually a member of the group who's doing this. He has voted against McCarthy every time. He was the person that was put up every time today. Hannity didn't have him on there. Nah. He brought on Bubblehead here because it's easier. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna have to I keep talking over these guys. I'm so sorry.
Our votes aren't just.
I'm really not that sorry.
Just a cast.
Congresswoman, I'd ask you not to filibuster.
Don't filibuster. I feel like I hate to always bring up Always Sunny, but there's an episode where Charlie's arguing with the lawyer and he just bursts out with filibuster. And the lawyer looks at him and goes, do you even know what that means?
Yesterday you voted and Jim Jordan was your choice. Today it was Byron Donalds who was your choice.
You screwed up there too. Their original choice was Biggs. And I know it's another one of those minor points because two of the votes yesterday were for Jordan, but the first one was Biggs. It was the one that they had decided to go with at the beginning anyway. And it's a minor point, but you're supposed to be a newsman. These are minor points that actually do matter, especially for the argument that he's about to make. Because the argument, I'm gonna spoil a little bit. He's gonna be like, you guys don't even really have a candidate. Well, if you're gonna make that point, doesn't it make more sense to have all three of the people that they were going with? Just if for nothing else, reality. If for nothing else, to be correct about what you're talking about. No. Hannity's not that bright either. See, battle of the twits.
Tomorrow, I don't know who.
This is why when people come at me like, oh, you're just a Hannity supporter. I'm like, you really don't know me. You really don't know me at all. Because I do not find this man to be all that intelligent. He's okay at some of what he does. He's got some decent writers for him, and he can bully the fuck out of somebody in an argument. But he's not all that bright. He's really not.
Who you're going to vote for. But the bottom line is you still only have 20 votes. Let me ask you this.
Bottom line, they only need 6, Sean. So by my count, they have 3 times as many as they need. 3 times. Because 3 times 6 is 18. They have 20. Yeah, 3 times as many. 3 times plus, actually. Well, 3 1/3, if my math is, if I'm going to be perfectly mathematically correct.
Kevin
I think
McCarthy
we're proving that we're open to a menu of options. Many different
you're
people
proving
can
that
be
20
speaker.
people
There's
don't
not
want
just
Kevin
one
McCarthy
man.
at this time.
Ding, ding, ding. You got it, Sean. You got it. You're proving that 20 people don't want McCarthy at this time. All right. How many does it take to keep from having McCarthy, Sean? All you need is 6. The Republicans have 208 or 222 seats. You need 218. So actually, 5. 5 is my math was even wrong. They have 4 times as many as they need. They only need 5 to go against him.
But my question to you is
We
this.
are proving that there are many options.
My question to you is, did you support Kevin McCarthy's commitments to America? And do you not believe that he's going to follow through on his written promises?
I'm going to let her answer. But do you not believe McCarthy's promises to America? No, I don't. Do you not believe that he's going to follow through on his written promises? No, I don't. Now, if you want to know why, because I paid attention to politics, Sean. I paid attention to what a shitbag McCarthy is. How he's just like every other fucking rhino. He is a California Republican. And I know for some people, like, why does he keep mentioning the California part? Because a California Republican is not the same as an Iowa Republican or a Texas Republican. They tend to be Democrat light at best. At best.
His commitment to America is not as strong as I would like it to be. And
Ding, ding.
we have been working on the rules to change the structure of how Washington, D.C. is run and operated. Sean, you know more than anybody how broken this town is.
No, he doesn't. Sean knows how to get ratings. That's what Sean knows.
This is something that we have an opportunity to rebuild, to restructure.
Can I just take a second? I'm sorry. I got to stop. I mentioned this on the after party earlier, but this shows it in such stark reality. The Republicans right now, the 201 that are supporting this shitbag on the right-hand side of your screen there, they are coming after the 20 who are out there who are just going, we want to make sure that conservative principles are upheld. And now the conservative media is going after them too. They're all going after them as though they've done something wrong by wanting conservative principles actually upheld. Does that mean if they get their way, it will be upheld? No, because of course not. It's fucking Washington. But at least they're actually making an attempt. And they are being vilified by their own side for wanting that. And instead of it being like, hey, here's the things that McCarthy's actually done, which we will get to in a second. But here's the things that McCarthy has done that show he has a strong commitment to conservatism. Don't you think he should be on board with that? I mean, he kind of does it here with the, do you not believe his commitment to America? Any specifics you want to name there, Sean? Any? Nah, of course not. But instead of trying to sweeten them on McCarthy, they're just trying to vilify them. And it's fucking disgusting to watch. This is the kind of shit that the liberal media would be doing to them. I've even seen conservative media call these people the far right wing. Like, for real? Jesus Christ, you fucking douchebags. This is why I tell you, don't trust any media, any of them, because they all have an agenda and they will all use it and they will all use their power to push it. And it doesn't matter what the reality is. This is why I tell you, it's as much as Fox is the conservative outlet, that's by default. It is by default. They are not conservative. And the only places you really will find conservative values is from 8 through the 11 o'clock hour. That's it. And even then, this is Hannity, one of their conservative firebrands. And he's out there simping for fucking McCarthy with nothing to back it up other than platitudes. Don't you believe in his commitment to America? What commitment, Sean? What one? It says Trey Gowdy is next. Can we watch him instead? I didn't see that bit. So no, I don't even have it queued up. I don't even know if it's online to find. Do.
And it
Congresswoman,
takes the right
he
tools
talked
and the
about
right leadership to do that.
border security, energy independence, debt reduction,
And when we ask
Wait. Hang on. We got to go back. Do. That should be enough.
is run and
Listen.
operated. Sean, you know more than anybody how broken this town is. This is something that we have an opportunity
I went
to
back too far. My
rebuild,
bad.
to restructure.
Congresswoman,
and it takes the right
he
tools
talked
and the
about
right leadership to do that.
border security, energy independence, debt reduction.
And when
He talked about energy independence, border security, debt reduction. And just like every other fucking Republican we see up there, they talk about it. Show me where he has done anything actually on those measures. Anything. I'm willing to learn, Sean. Exactly, Faithless. But what has he done? He's talked about it.
that.
Border security, energy independence,
Sean.
debt reduction,
And when
earmarks.
we asked him to put forward the Texas-built border plan, he refused.
There you go. Now, notice how Sean just goes right past that. When we asked him to put forward the Texas border security plan, he refused. All they asked him to do, look, it's probably never going to pass with Biden, especially up at the top, and the Democrats having the Senate. But the conservative leader of the House, the one that Sean Hannity just told us about, had talked about border security, won't even bring forth a bill written by Republicans from the state of Texas who are like, this is what we think needs to be done to secure the border. And they're like, one of the things we want you to do, just agree to bring this to a floor vote, to have the floor argument and a vote on it. And McCarthy went, nah. So, I mean, this is exactly what we see what he said, but what's he done? And this is going forward. He's not even agreeing to go ahead and do it. He hasn't even lied about that. He says just, nah.
And then, well, he's willing to bring back the exact plan that worked under Donald Trump. And then
he's willing to bring back the exact plan that worked under Donald Trump. Okay. Or you could go further and actually secure the border, because there was no plan that worked under Donald Trump. We had less illegals. I don't want to call them immigrants. Illegals coming across, and we had some stuff, but none of that was codified into law. It's not like the Democrats went in there and got rid of it all. None of it was ever actually passed. Trump had to change around money to get border security stuff done. Remember that? Because they were all mad about it. Like, oh, he's taking money from Homeland Security to secure the border. So what you're talking about is he's willing to bring back a plan that would require Biden to just move money around. Instead of putting forth an actual fucking bill on it. Well, Sean, you are such a little simp for this bitch. It's pathetic.
And, well, he's willing to bring back the exact plan that worked under Donald Trump. And then he also has pledged.
It wasn't a God. I hate this. You are such a disingenuous prick. Let's talk about this. All right. McCarthy wants to run when Boehner steps down. The Freedom Caucus at the time's like, oh, fuck no. So instead, they had what they called a compromise candidate in Paul Ryan, who refused to give this plan to the president. He would not let immigration come up for a vote. He would not let the border wall come up for a vote. You know who was part of that? You know who was part about that? Who was on that side? Who was there with with Paul? It was Kevin here. Disingenuous prick. God damn.
Investigations into the FBI and DOJ, the influence peddling.
Wait. I'm sorry, because I was stepping on him again. We got to go back a minute.
Or the Texas-built border plan he refused.
And then, well, he's willing to bring back the exact plan that worked under Donald Trump. And then he also has pledged investigations into the FBI and DOJ.
All right. Well, hang on. Let Sean finish.
Influence peddling of the Biden family, the origins of COVID and Anthony Fauci, the withdrawal from Afghanistan. My question is,
right speaker.
She answers it right there too. There's nothing that is special about Kevin about that. But here's the thing. Do you know what will happen with all of those? Do you know how many people will be held accountable in all of that? None. Because it takes nothing to have investigations except for the money to do it and time. That's it. Check your money. Oh, shit. Is my stupid alert not going off? I'm so sorry. Let me get over there. If anybody's donated and I missed, I am so sorry. I have it up there, so it should be making noise, and it's not. The Ball Potato, thank you so very much. This lady would be a great cheerleader. She has the spirit, and she's good looking for her age. She just doesn't have the brains to put any further than that. Maybe she should start wearing a cheerleader costume. I'd like to see it. And fuck. Thank you, Cirque, who said, hell, Biden talked about those issues during the 2020 election. Sean, shut up. Indeed. That's well put. Hell, man, if you're talking about the border security, that goes all the way back to Clinton. Clinton was talking about we need to close up that there border. And by the way, my daughter, who's one of the smartest women I know, was a cheerleader. So I get what you're saying with that, but even cheerleaders are smarter than she is. She really should just stand in the background and look pretty. Anyhow, and I wasn't taking offense there because my daughter was a cheerleader. I just want to point out some of them are actually pretty bright. She is not. But all of these things that he lists off there, look, he's going to have this inquiry into Biden and Fauci and the influence peddling. Literally every speaker from the Republicans could do that. Anybody you pick, the newest guy, who's that liar? George Santos. If you made him speaker, he could go, all right, have those. You know why? Because the speaker doesn't necessarily, the speaker has a lot of control over some stuff, but the committees are the ones who decide what's being investigated. You don't even need the speaker for that. I'm committed to having. So that's meaningless, shithead. Jim Jordan is the one who's going to have those things, not Kevin McCarthy.
Sure.
Do you support?
And it's not going to be Kevin McCarthy.
Do you support all of those agenda items he promised?
Hey, Sean Hannity, let me ask you a question. You know what? I just brought up George Santos. It's a good time to bring him up. You ever been lied to by a politician, Sean? Ever? Once? Ever? I mean, I'm just curious here because you're putting a lot of faith into the promises of a politician. Hang on a second, guys. I need to do something real quick. I'm going to see if I can't get the alerts to be going off. You guys would have heard them too if they actually had gone off. Oh, wait, there was a little one right there. I'm going to move this over to this other screen where I really don't need anything up. So there we go. Bring this back up. Present. Share my screen again. That's my Share My Screen Again song from my third album. All right. So Sean, ever been lied to? Ever been lied to by a politician? Let's see.
Of course I do, but I do not trust Kevin McCarthy at this point to deliver on those promises, especially when I go into good faith negotiations with him, and then he comes out and lies about what those conversations were, saying that members demanded
that's your characterization. He's not here to answer.
Did you hear that shit? Hang on. Let's back that up. But she says, I don't trust him, especially when I go into good faith conversations. He comes out lying about what happened.
McCarthy at this point to deliver on those promises.
Listen to Sean.
Especially when I go into good faith negotiations with him, and then he comes out and lies about what those conversations were, saying that members demanded.
Okay, that's your characterization. He's not here.
That's your characterization. He's not here to talk about it. Yeah, he's not. Do you guys? How many of you guys watched the after party today? How many of you guys watched that? I told you there's a moment during the first and second voting where Matt Gaetz of Florida, you can actually hear him talking, not just see, but you can actually hear him. And he is yelling. They were lying about me. They lied about me. And I was like, I wonder what that's about exactly. It makes a little more sense now that Lauren has brought this up, that good faith negotiations. And he came out and said that these people wanted a personal wish list. Now, does that mean that actually is what happened? No. But hey, there goes hey, it's working now. But it does give a little bit of evidence to what she's saying here. At the very least, at least Gaetz thinks he's being lied about. Was it necessarily this? I don't know, but it does make sense that if they're having an argument on the floor about why Gaetz won't, just go along to get along with old McCarthy, and he's yelling about somebody lying about him, it doesn't take somebody as smart as Boebert to put two and two together here. Thank you, Keldrig, who said, ride that dick harder, Sean, right? Good God, man. Do you believe in what do you not like the things that he's promised? Of course I like him. I just don't trust the little prick.
When we want.
So let me ask you this.
He's already apologized to one member in private because he won't apologize to him in public.
And did you catch that part? He's already apologized to one member in private because he won't do it in public. And again, Matt Gaetz was on the floor today yelling loud enough that the C-SPAN cameras picked him up talking about somebody lying about him. And suddenly there's this private apology. See, this is why I'd love to be a fly on the wall in some of these rooms. I really would. Do you think Kevin was like, shit, I better go apologize to Matt? Maybe that'll get him on my team after I lied about him in public. And again, I wasn't there. I don't know if it was an actual lie. I'm just with Gaetz didn't go out to the press and say this. It's why I put a little more credence in it, in there being some kind of truth to it. He was just talking to the people on the floor about why he's upset about something. He was mad as a motherfucker. And sir, you can hear him yell. He lied about me.
For spreading lies about that meeting.
Here's my question. So you and others fought hard for a motion to vacate, with only 5 Republicans able to trigger that motion.
Wrong. You guys fought hard for a motion to vacate. A motion to vacate is a motion to vacate the current speaker to trigger a vote on whether or not, basically a vote of confidence. Should he still be our speaker? And Sean just said, you guys fought hard for a motion with 5 people to be able to trigger a motion. This is one of the places where Lauren is the wrong person to have right here. I'll explain what's going on in a minute.
Kevin McCarthy didn't want to give it to you, but he did give it to you in the end.
Wrong.
To me, that's kind of an insurance policy. Can I finish?
But he didn't all the way. He did not. Sure.
He gave you what you asked for. And one of the things that I've been asking people, I'm asking you tonight, who is your final choice?
Okay. We have to explain this. We're going to back it up so we can watch that all again after I explain to you what's actually going on there. So the motion to vacate, before Nancy Pelosi took over this last time in 2019, it took one person. All it took was one person to trigger a motion to vacate. I don't think you're doing a good enough job. We want to take a vote to see if you should still be speaker. Nancy changed it so that it took a majority of the leading party. So for Nancy, a majority of the Democrats would have to come together and go, a motion to vacate. The Freedom Caucus here, they went in, they're like, we want it returned to how it used to be. And Kevin went, no. And they went, no, we really want that. And so Kevin came up with the, well, how about 5 members? How about 5 members? Listen to how Sean tells this story. Remember, she and her cohorts wanted it back to the 1. That was their ask. Kevin came up with the 5.
You and others fought hard for a motion to vacate, with only 5 Republicans able to trigger that motion. Kevin.
See how he just presented it? You, Lauren, you were the ones who wanted it at 5.
McCarthy didn't want to give it to you, but he did give it.
He didn't want to do that, but he did. Well, he gave them what he wanted, not what they wanted. You see what this little lying motherfucker did? You see what this lying motherfucker just did there?
Give it to you in the end. To me, that's kind of an insurance policy. Can I finish?
But he didn't all the way. He did not. Sure.
He
and see, right there is when this is when she should have been a little more assertive. No, you cannot continue because you are lying right now. He did not give us what we asked for. We asked for 1, back to what it used to be. By the way, this comes up again in a little bit. He was the one that wanted 5, not us. And she's just not strong enough or smart enough to fight with somebody like Hannity. He's a dirty little prick.
He gave you what you asked for.
Yeah, tell me again how much I'm a Hannity lover, you fucking assholes out there.
And one of the things that I've been asking people, I'm asking you tonight, who is your final choice for speaker? And if you can't get more than, let's say, 30 votes, will you follow your own advice that you were asking Donald Trump and withdraw?
They don't have a candidate that they're behind. We've been over this. We'll let her get to her answer in a second. But I want to ask you guys this. He just set the number at 30. If tomorrow they get in there and there's 30, do you think Sean Hannity is going to be, oh, well, there's 30. I guess it's time for Kevin to withdraw? Do you think it's going to be like that? Or do you think this dirty little prick will move the goalpost? We all know the answer, right?
There are certainly names that are being floated around. And hey, maybe I should nominate President Donald J. Trump tomorrow. But Sean,
I'll give her credit on that one. I will give her credit on being like, maybe I should nominate Trump. Because once again, guys, you do not have to be a member of the House to be Speaker of the House. It could be a private citizen. It could be Steve from your local McDonald's. As long as as long as he gets 218 votes in the House, he can be Speaker.
I did watch your show last night, and I want to set the record straight on this motion.
We're going to pick Jim Jordan one day, Donald's the other day, Trump the next day.
This motion to
Is it a game show? We're going to pick one guy this day, one guy. All right. Once again, Sean, it doesn't matter who they pick as long as they have enough votes to keep Kevin from getting it. That's all that matters. They're not unified behind anybody. They are unified against McCarthy. Why is it so hard for these idiots to understand? And you know what? It's not hard. They understand. They're lying. This is the same shit that the liberal press does. He knows damn good and well what's going on here. And instead of just being honest about it, he's lying to everybody looking at Fox News. It's like, oh my God, those horrible far-right Republicans. Sean, you're disgusting. And I'm not just talking about your jowls.
Vacate, because he did not give us this motion to vacate. I'm showing there's a whole consensus of other candidates.
But I'm trying to understand how you're thinking here. This motion to vacate, Sean, you need to understand.
She's finally coming back to the motion to vacate. Again, this is why she is not the person to be having this. Sweetheart, you missed your chance on that. I'm glad you brought it back up. But battle of the twits, y'all.
Consensus of other candidates.
But I'm trying to understand how you're thinking here. This
motion to vacate, Sean, you need to understand that Kevin McCarthy did not give us my hard red line.
He fought for it.
And this is a century.
He fought for it. He didn't give me my hard red line. He fought for it. What? He fought for what she wanted. He's the one that gets to make the decision. Yeah, that's what we'll make a vote for that. We'll change it. We'll change the rules back to this. He fought for it. No, he didn't, Sean. Why are you always lying?
Old centuries. No, he did not.
No, I know that he made the promise.
That was written by Thomas Jefferson.
I know he made the promise
since
because
1837 with 5 members, Sean, with 5 members, not one member to offer the motion to vacate.
So my question is,
did you see what he just did there? Oh, watch this shit again. Watch. She finally corrects him. And watch his fucking reaction.
Jefferson.
I know he made the
promise. Watch this shit.
Because 1837 with 5 members, Sean, with 5 members, not one member to offer the motion to vacate.
Okay. Yeah, okay. For real? It's literally their sticking point. It's literally what you just said he fought for. She corrected your dumbass. It took her long enough. This is a rule that goes back to Jefferson. All the way. And this motherfucker, he's like, okay. Doesn't even acknowledge it and be like, you're right. I was wrong here. I was wrong. He didn't give you that. He was giving you a concession by bringing it down to 5 instead of half of the caucus, instead of half of the Republican caucus. I mean, so you're right. It's not exactly what you asked for, but at least it was a compromise, right? He doesn't even do that because he's a dirty piece of shit. She didn't bring it back up. Hannity did when he asked her the question. He brought up that McCarthy gave them what they wanted. So she answered, well, no, he had moved on to them. Who are you going to get behind? And she had let that go down. And she did respond to the who are you going to get behind? She's even like, well, maybe even Trump. So the conversation had moved on. She does bring it back up, which she should do. The problem is she should have done it right in the first time. She's not good at this.
Kate.
So my question is this.
Nancy Pelosi's
you haven't answered my question. So if you have,
you cannot demand more responsibility.
You're not answering my question. Actually, that's the best she had done yet of answering your question.
Supported Jordan. Today is supporting Donald.
That's not the way this works. We need a check and a balance on the third in line.
Who is your let's have a final answer. Who do you want to be Speaker of the House?
For the conference to decide. We need to come together.
Who do you want? I'm asking who you want.
What does it look like life after Kevin? We need to find somebody who can actually unify the Republican Party. I have offered.
I would like to know.
Let some other folks start offering.
There are 203 people, and you have 20.
There's 201, Sean. That's twice you've said that number wrong. So that's not just you saying it wrong once. You actually don't even know the hard numbers on this. It's 201. Look it up.
Respect the 20 of you. I respect all of you.
No, you don't.
I'm asking you.
No, you don't. Stop with the fucking platitudes. I hate when people do this shit. I respect. No, you don't. If you respected her, you would not have conducted this interview the way you did. You dirty little shit.
Based on
let me assure you, like when I was arguing with Hunter, there was no respect at all. And it would have been fucking dirty of me to go, look, I respect you. Because I didn't at all. And he has shown no respect to this woman. He's shown no respect to these people. He has lied completely. He lied repeatedly about he gave you what you wanted. He was going to fight for it. Nope. I respect you. I'll leave the money on the table.
Your own words.
You as well.
Who is your final? Let's have a final answer. Who do you want? Who will you only support to be Speaker? That's not that hard.
I'm willing to have conversations with the Republican conference to come up with a consensus candidate.
They don't need a candidate specifically, but she's given some, Sean. They put up Biggs. They put up Jordan, and Jordan apparently doesn't want it. And today they put up Donalds. There's 3 right there that they were willing to put their support behind. They've shown that it's not just one person. And that's kind of what she's trying to get at here. But he wants it. You give me that one name. Who's the one person? They haven't done anything to show that they're that hard line. Their hard line is just not McCarthy, which again, by the way, it's not going to matter. I do want to bring this up again. Whoever it ends up being, it's going to end up being somebody very much like McCarthy, because that's who the Republicans are right now. You don't have a whole lot of Republicans in there who are hardline conservatives. They're all fucking sellouts. Look at Marjorie Taylor Greene, who should be fighting alongside Boebert right now, who should be in there right now going, fuck Kevin McCarthy. And instead, what is she doing? She's out there calling out people like Boebert because they're just being spectacles because they didn't get me any cushy assignments. Fucking dirty motherfucker.
We are offering people right now, it doesn't have to be a member of the Freedom Caucus. It doesn't even have to be a
It doesn't have to. I don't even understand. Lauren, you shouldn't even be entertaining him here. You really shouldn't. I appreciate that you're trying to, because he's a bullying piece of shit, but you shouldn't be entertaining him on this, because it's a non sequitur. It is a distraction. Oh, Jack's here. I'm so glad you're here because I saved a story for when you were here. How you doing, my friend?
I'm exhausted. I fell asleep. Sorry.
Oh, that's cool, man. We're watching Sean Hannity try to berate Lauren Boebert into supporting Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah, what a fucking douche.
God.
Did I miss Eye Patch McCain?
No, I didn't watch his video. Should we watch that one after this?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do that. When he was on Fox and Friends?
Oh, no.
No?
I didn't know about that. When he was on Guy Benson and when he was on CNN.
No, grab me one of those clips and we'll watch it, because I haven't seen that.
Oh, cool.
The one where he was on Fox and Friends was dirty as shit.
Well, he's a piece of garbage, so.
He actually said, hey, they're only doing this so they can get on TV as he's on TV.
Yeah, because he's a fucking publicity hound warmonger.
Little piece of shit. Yeah, if you put him on TV, they'll stop this. Watch. Like, you dumb motherfucker. Anyway, and that was the least offensive thing he said. All right.
Yeah.
But Lauren right now, Jack, is they're at the part where Sean's like, just give me the name of who you will support. And I'm telling Lauren,
God. He is such an idiot.
Sorry. Yeah. There's no reason for her to give a name because it's a disingenuous question.
Oh, the whole interview is disingenuous.
Oh, yeah. All right. How am I doing on that time, guys? I said it would probably take me an hour. We're what, 40 minutes into this 10-minute video?
You're just delaying till I woke up.
I just can't help myself. I have to pause and talk.
Yeah. Look, can I just say it? I'd still smash Lauren Boebert.
No, I said this earlier, Jack. She's cute. She's obviously, in my opinion, on the right side here, but she's not smart enough to be talking. She should be in the background just looking pretty.
Well, she's a woman, so.
By the way, more than half the Freedom Caucus supports McCarthy.
It doesn't matter how many of the Freedom Caucus supports him. What does matter is how many don't.
Yeah, and
he keeps trying to make this about how many votes McCarthy has. It takes 5 to stop him from being nominated. That's it. Or from getting elected. 5. Yeah. That's all they need.
Why won't you just fall in line? Why won't you do what the majority wants? Why won't you do what Hannity wants? You know what? Sometimes there are things called principles.
Yeah.
And they want some structural changes to actually get stuff done. Matt Gaetz has made this very, very clear. He doesn't want to do another Benghazi.
This fight is a long time coming for the Republicans. Yeah. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to matter in the end anyway, because they're still going to end up with some milquetoast piece of shit. But this is a fight that the Republicans have been needing to have for the soul of their congressional caucus for a long, long time, because they just bend over time after time. I'm sorry, Jack. What were you going to say?
No, it's about time somebody stood up and said, no, we need to change things. And they're right. That's why their constituents sent them there. These are younger people that were voted in by more like Trump fans. And they want things to change. They want the Republicans to actually do something other than go to war. And that's all people like Hannity do, because they only care about like, oh, talking a lot and then going and blowing shit up. Look, I like blowing shit up too, but there's a time and a place, and it ain't Ukraine, buddy.
Evolved Potato, thank you. This is kind of like a public struggle session, but it's not working. Trying to beat her down with bullying tactics and talking over the top of her. It's actually pretty typical of Hannity. You just don't normally see him do it to conservatives because they fall in line just to get on his show a lot, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
So you don't even have a name,
because
and we're now going into day 3.
Once again, they've given you 3 names. They've literally voted for 3 different people.
Yeah, but he didn't like that. So.
You don't even have a name.
When you are threatened by committee chairmen to not be placed by steering committee.
Right, let me ask a final question.
Oh gosh. Oh, I'll just ignore her questions, even though I've been bullying her this entire segment to answer all of mine, specifically how I want them answered.
I told you guys yesterday, I don't really have a problem with McCarthy going, hey, if you don't support me, you're not going to get on a committee. Because, I mean, that is politics, bitch. It is. And it is his right to be like, well, you fucked me, I'm going to fuck you. However, that doesn't make it a good thing to do.
No, it's a completely douchey thing to do. And he even used proxies like Mike Rogers to do it because they said if you don't vote, you're losing your committee assignment. Look, if he wants to be a complete jackass, that's fine. But why would anyone fall in line then? Like, how weak-willed are you?
Thank you.
You're just going to entrench people more.
I've been saying this. You need flies with honey, Jack. That old saying, you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. And they've gone full on vinegar instead of trying to win these people over. And Hannity right there, though, his dismissiveness of that, whatever, like a fucking high school, whatever. Fuck you, you piece of shit.
He's a petulant child, and he also is.
He's turning into a pumpkin.
Oh yeah, I've been saying that for a while. He's got a big lumpy head, but he's such a fucking rhino. Like, he just cares about the party. He doesn't care about what the constituents want. Well, he pretends to, but when it comes right down to it, if somebody he likes doesn't get their way, he throws a little fucking tantrum. He's gonna give them all stupid little nicknames too. Just watch.
Evolved Potato says things can be allowed, but still immoral. Yeah, and look, it is part of politics that this kind of, hey, we'll give you some really nice assignments if you just get on board.
Yeah.
And instead of doing it that way, they're like, we're going to take away your assignment. This is literally the honey vinegar thing. We're going to give you something. Instead, they're like, we're going to take it from you. Do you think that actually helps?
I think they believe it does. Yeah. But
I think that they've been in Washington too long, if I'm being honest.
Well, and that's what it looks like, is McCarthy feels like he should be coronated. This is Republican Hillary. He moved all his shit into the office when he wasn't even nominated yet, or
Dude, I hadn't even talked to Lady Monkey about that, but she came in at the end of the after party today, and she brought that up. She's like, "That's so dirty." Hannity's a new Hannity's a new Orange Man Bad. No, he's the new Ichabod Crane. He's got a pumpkin on top of his neck.
Well, that'd be the Horseman then, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, I guess. Yeah, you're right. Ichabod's the one who sees it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Hey, it was a pop culture reference that I almost got right.
That's fair. That's fair. Sure, it's 110 years old. But that's not the point.
It's a pop culture reference, no cap.
Oh, dead ass, yo. No, I just think this attempts to bully these people instead of listening to them.
Yeah.
Is so disingenuous, because all the Republicans are always bitching about how the lefties and the Dems are a bunch of bullies trying to make everyone fall in line. And here they do the same thing.
Divine Petulant says, almost. Hey, I was close. Look, you got the reference. That's what matters. Have a good night, Ryan Corpse.
Sorry. Yeah, have a good one, Ryan Corpse.
Final candidate.
Placed on a committee, and then Kevin McCarthy affirms that. That's a scary place to be. We are here to legislate. We are here to get the country back on track. And
I could tell.
When you have people
I can tell. I want to address this too, because I saw today somebody on Twitter, they were whining. What I really want is them to get to the business of the country. All right, let's talk about that for just a second. It's been 2 days. If my math is correct, there's what? 730 days in a 2-year period. Am I correct on that?
Sure, we'll run with that number.
365 times 2 should be about 730. 2 days have been wasted on this. Oh no. And even if it takes them 2 weeks, 14 out of that 730.
Yeah.
It'll be okay.
This is healthy for the Republicans to have some dissent, whether anyone wants to admit it or not. And that's how change is affected. They've been talking about doing this for months. And then McCarthy didn't believe them. He told them all to suck it up and fall in line. And then they actually did protest, and he is shocked by it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's very angry too.
If you've seen him on the floor, it's funny as fuck. He is mad as a motherfucker. The only person madder is Stefanik. I fucking love watching her face every time somebody votes for whether it was Jordan or today it was Donald's. You can just see it. She's seething. Ugh.
Making threats like that, it's difficult to make that decision, but we are going to get there. I am fine doing this. We're in day 2. It's okay. The government isn't spending money, sending it to Ukraine, so the American taxpayers are certainly winning.
There's politically, Congresswoman, you agree, and I agree on most things. We don't disagree on many things.
Yes, we do, Sean.
And I do have respect for you, but I think
no, you don't. You have no respect. See, this is a debate tactic right here. Don't fall for this shit. No, see, hey, look, on most things we agree, and you know, I really do have some respect for you. Don't fall for that platitude bullshit. Now, it is possible to have respect for somebody and disagree with them. Jack, I respect you, and you and I have disagreed before.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't treat you like this.
No.
And you didn't treat me like this.
No, I'm not that big of a douche.
I treat people I don't respect like this.
Yeah, and Hannity's pissed because his little buddies aren't getting what they want.
History will show that I'm on the right
side
of this, Sean.
Well, you can believe you're in your position, but I'm using your words. You said to President Trump, you said, we're very clear, he doesn't have 218, so you need to ask him to withdraw. If by Friday you...
And nothing has changed.
Yeah, look, they don't need a majority, Sean. They're making a point. They want some structural change. He's not giving it all.
He keeps bringing up Trump without bringing up why she directed that at Trump. It's because Trump came out and said that they needed to just get on board, which has pissed off a lot of people. There's a lot of people right now mad at Trump going, why would you do this? Yeah. Why would you get behind a rhino? Especially one who stabbed you in the back repeatedly.
Yeah, and has supported your enemies.
Yeah.
And I get it from Trump's position. He wants some party unity, but he's also offered to broker a deal between them. But that's exactly what McCarthy's not doing, which is giving concessions to these people to secure the votes. Instead, he's sitting there like a spoiled baby with his arms crossed going, no, give me what I want. Yeah, I'm going to hold my breath. Yeah.
Bubba says, how long till they just start chanting it's his turn? Well, in a way, they kind of already have.
You and your group of 20 don't have a name with 30 votes. Is it time for you to withdraw? And if not, why do you support a double standard? Last question.
That's not a double standard. It's not a double standard. Because here, let's take what he just said. They've given 3 names. The original one was Biggs, the second one was Jordan, and the third one has been Donald's. 2 of those are no longer in contention. So they've already withdrawn those.
Mm-hmm.
So they've already lived up to what they said. If you're going to go with your stupid nonsense here, because remember, what they're doing is not actually for somebody, it's more just against McCarthy. But they've already done it twice. You fucking disingenuous prick.
Yeah, well, that's Hannity's general thing. He's very much hostile to his own side a lot. but he views them as enemies now. They are his enemies because they don't do what he wants. And look, that they don't have to vote for their own party.
Nope.
You don't have to like that, Hannity, but they're not required anywhere to just fall in line and do what they're told. And when they're trying to make some changes,
DK,
that's the whole point.
DK, exactly. And I wish she was smart enough to say that, because we have the votes to get what we want. He doesn't. Exactly. They need 5. He needs 218.
Kevin McCarthy does not have 218 votes. Kevin McCarthy
And you
will
would-
not
and
be
you have
speaker.
20.
Didn't you just say you're going to let her just speak?
He lied.
Didn't he just say that, though? Hey, Sean, didn't you tell her earlier not to filibuster?
Well, he's a little interrupter bot. See, that's why I don't like Sean Hannity. He argues like a woman.
Oh my gosh, he's Sean Kelly is who he is.
I'm surprised that he hasn't
Filibuster.
come out and brought up stuff she did 5 years ago.
Oh, give him a week.
Yeah.
If it drags on this long, yeah, he'll start just tearing these people down.
I remember that one time when you did that other thing I didn't like. How do you feel about that now? Well,
he'll start bringing up the conspiracies against her. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because he's a douchebag.
Do you remember that you had an abortion? She's like, no, I didn't. Well, that's what the liberal press has said about you.
Yeah, because they're reliable.
Kevin
I asked you a
McCarthy
very
does not have
specific question.
218.
If by
Listen,
Friday
when we
you
get
don't
this
have
right,
30,
I will not, Sean. I will not withdraw. Our
You will
asks were not petty of Kevin McCarthy. They were not self-serving. We simply were asking for commitments on what the American people want to see.
Wait. We got to see that again. Hang on. We got to go back. All right. Watch his fucking head. If you're listening, you need to watch right now.
I will not, Sean. I will not withdraw.
Watch him.
Our
You will
asks were not petty of Kevin McCarthy. They were not self-serving. We simply were asking for commitments on what the American people.
What a little douchebag.
You just have to capitulate, and she's right. They asked for some very minor concessions. Stand up and do border control. They want the meetings to mean stuff. That is no more just performative stuff. These are actual changes that people have been asking the Republicans to do for years.
Yeah.
And they're not major ones.
It's pretty minor stuff. And including the one which was literally the rules just, 2 years ago. The whole thing that they talked about earlier with the motion to vacate, to be able to kick out the current speaker, that has only been a rule for 2 years. It used to be exactly what they're asking for right now. And Sean, whatever.
You guys are being babies. No, they are actually doing their fucking jobs. You don't have to like that the Republicans are fighting, but they're doing what people voted them in for.
And all he has to do, there's the whole thing with the speaker being able to a vote of confidence is basically what it is on one person's, thing. You have the Texas border plan that they just want him to commit to voting for, or to holding a vote for.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have to vote for it. He just has to have a vote.
Yeah, but he won't even commit to that.
Nope.
Not publicly, because he's a bitch and he's a fucking rhino.
He is. He's a California Republican. All right. We're almost done. We only got, a minute and a half, just over a minute and a half.
People want to see. They want to see a vote on term limits, a vote on the Texas border plan to secure the southern border.
By the way, I don't agree with the term limit vote, but there's nothing wrong with bringing one.
Yeah, they can still shoot it down. I'm still on the fence about term limits, but I get your position on it, and I don't disagree. But man, I'm so tired of a lot of these like dynasty characters.
I get your side too. I just think that from what I've seen, it doesn't matter who we get in there. We just get the same shitbags over and over again.
Yeah, that's the real problem here.
The only difference is we end up with less experienced shitbags.
Yeah. Look, I think I can respect Boebert and Gates's position here a lot more easily, because what they want is pretty fucking trivial.
And let's be honest, most of it, even if McCarthy gave him the vote in the House, it's not going anywhere because it's not going to pass in the Senate. And if it did, there's sure no way that fucking Biden's going to sign it.
Yeah, but McCarthy's just holding out because he doesn't want to give at all. He just thinks he should have the job because he's been there a long time. His arrogance is preventing him from getting the job that he wants. It's amazing.
It was 11:11 when he said he'd be talking about it for an hour, I noted. So we're at an hour and 2 minutes, I'm guessing.
Close.
Yeah, well, because it's 3 here. I'm guessing when I said it, it was 2 o'clock or 10 o'clock his time.
Congresswoman, with all due respect,
Sean, we asked for a vote on a budget that actually balances. Imagine.
Yeah, that was the other one, a balanced budget. It's term limits, a balanced budget, the Texas plan, and returning it to the one-person vote for confidence. Yeah. Those are their 4 sticking points that McCarthy will not give them.
And I'm shocked by that because I thought their demands would be a little more outrageous.
Yeah.
They're not. They're actually stuff that Republicans have been saying for years.
Wouldn't term limits require a constitutional amendment? And not necessarily. I mean, they could do it with House rules. I don't think there's anything in the Constitution that bars term limits. And you could certainly make the argument based on historical precedent that it's allowed, given we have one for the president, even though, that is written into the Constitution. Yeah. Alan, thank you so very much for the donation, my friend. Hope you're well this morning.
Imagine a Congress that stops spending money that we don't have. We are going to get this right, and we are going to get the right speaker, Sean.
If you only have 30 to be...
Okay, I'm going to stop this here, Jack, because I'm going to ask you. I asked the chat earlier. He's drawn this hard line of 30 votes. If tomorrow 30 people vote for Donald's, do you think he'll be like, oh, yeah, it's time for McCarthy to step down?
No. He'll just be like, look, more traitors.
He's such a fucking disingenuous piece of shit.
Yeah. A lot of people have been pushing back on him, which I'm glad to see, but what a fucking scumbag.
Well, this is where we're going to find, at least on social media, you have a lot of people who are actually on the side of the 20 Freedom Caucus folks.
Yeah.
You have people like, no, it is time to get rid of these fucking rhinos. Look, you can't get them out of Congress because if you're going to be a Republican in McCarthy's district, you're going to have to be a rhino. It's just fact. But what you can do is keep them from having positions of power within the party once they get to Congress.
Yeah.
And that's what they're trying to do here. He's already got the goalposts on a trailer ready to go.
We're going to get this right, and we are going to get the right speaker, Sean.
If you only have 30, to be clear, you will not withdraw. 30 is going to be
a beautiful number to reach.
But you're telling Kevin McCarthy and...
Okay, I did like that little snide remark from her.
Yeah.
And the 203 people that's...
201, Sean. Why do you keep getting that wrong?
Because he's stupid.
I have 0 interns. I have 0 people who work for me. I know the number.
Yeah.
I have a shitty memory. And I still know the fucking number. How have you gotten that wrong at least 3 times?
Well, he took 2 of them down with his kung fu. Remember, he's a martial arts master.
No, he's brought them back to life because there's 2 he's making up that don't exist.
Oh, no. See, he cut some down. They became hydras, and they sprouted more people. McCarthy, I don't know. He's a fucking retard, dude.
McCarthy had 202 on the first day. That's what it finished with on the 3rd vote.
Mm-hmm.
The first vote of today, well, day 2, I'm going to say it that way. First vote of day 2, one of those 202 dropped to just voting present and voted that way all day long.
Yeah.
So it's actually 21 who are voting against him right now.
Yeah. And I think if this drags out into like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you're going to see a lot more people defect.
I think if it drags out for a couple more days where the rest of the caucus sees these guys are not giving up, you'll see a defection pretty quick.
Yeah.
Because I don't think McCarthy has that much support.
He doesn't, but people don't want to lose their committee assignments. And that's what they're all afraid of, is they're going to lose their sweet like intel assignments and shit like that. But you know what? The longer this goes on, the more it looks like McCarthy's not willing to come to the table, and he's just entrenching himself further.
At this point, I don't think even if he came to the table, they'd believe him. I think he blew that when he would not give in to these simple demands the night before the first vote.
Yeah, now
and then goes out and lies about what these guys are wanting. And again, guys, I don't have a lot of proof of that. I know she said it, and I know I saw Matt Gaetz losing his shit on the floor today about somebody lying about him.
Yeah.
So I think he's just burned that bridge. I don't think they'll support him regardless at this point.
I don't blame them, but you've got people like Eye Patch McCain that are going to go the exact opposite way and entrench themselves against anyone that goes against McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if somebody like Steve Scalise came out and said, I publicly support all of their positions, he would get a lot of the votes that are still sitting in McCarthy's camp.
Look, I think Scalise would be easily elected.
I do too. And he's got some rhino leanings himself. But
sure.
At least he's a more savvy politician. And I think he could win it if he would just acknowledge their demands. But like I said, their demands aren't that bad. They just want you to hold some votes.
Scalise has been in there long enough that he's not going to do it without McCarthy's blessing. Because they're old friends, have been together for a long time. He's what, number 2 in the House right now, I believe. He's McCarthy's right-hand man at this point. So I don't think he would. He could have the coup of a lifetime if he just stood up and did that.
Yeah, but he's too much of a puss. Again, he probably does have trouble standing after getting shot. So
yeah. And that gives him a little bit of a bulletproof vest, so to speak.
Yeah, some street cred.
But again, I've said this all along, even if they get rid of McCarthy, we're not going to get somebody who really, really does believe in conservative values. You're going to get another milquetoast Republican.
Mm-hmm.
But McCarthy is on record of being a milquetoast Republican.
Yeah, and he has been for a long time. He just feels he's owed this ever since Boehner stepped down, and he tried to get the job then, and nobody wanted him. Real quick, thank you, Alan, for the donation with no message. Appreciate it, man. Hope you're feeling better.
All right.
Have 30 to be clear. You will not withdraw. 30 is
going to be a beautiful number.
But you're telling Kevin McCarthy and the 203 people that support him to withdraw because they don't have 218. That's what you're saying.
They're telling McCarthy to withdraw, not the 203 people that you've made up. They're telling him specifically to withdraw, and they have that power because they don't need 218. They need 5. I know I keep beating that, but that dead horse is important.
Look, it's obvious by tonight's motion to adjourn that Kevin McCarthy and his supporters are already getting voter fatigue. And
I asked you a simple question, Congresswoman. I feel like I'm getting a liberal.
I'm not going to support Kevin McCarthy, Sean.
That you dirty son of a bitch. You have conducted this entire interview as though you were a liberal fucking journalist. The whole goddamn time. I pointed out repeatedly where you have lied, where you've been disingenuous, where you've just straight up made up bullshit. And you have the fucking nerve to be like, I feel like I'm talking to a liberal.
Yeah, because he's a disingenuous dickhead. But also, doesn't he believe in the Electoral College? Because a small minority of states can sway the presidency.
Mm-hmm.
Why won't we appreciate the individualism here of standing up against a mob of people who are constantly berating you? It seems very, very much like a Republican stance.
I can explain. You see, it's really hard to see, but if you look real close right there, right there, that's Kevin McCarthy's dick in his mouth.
Oh, I was thinking his teeth are the penumbra.
No. There's a dick right there.
You know what? I would believe that because he is going so ridiculously far to fight for a guy that wants us to get involved in World War III.
Okay, so even if you only have 30 votes,
Kevin McCarthy,
you will not abide by what you told President Trump to abide by. I got it. I feel like we've made.
You will not abide by what you told President Trump to abide by. She's not running, Sean.
Yeah.
And once again, the two of the three people that they put up, they've taken down and nominated somebody else. You are such a disingenuous, lying prick.
Well, and part of that is because they nominated Jordan, and he said he didn't want it.
Yeah.
So they took his name out.
But still,
that seems
I
pretty
mean,
reasonable.
If you're going to go by what specifically she told Trump, okay, you don't have 218, you don't have the votes, you need to step aside. They're not supporting Biggs anymore. They're not supporting Jordan anymore. They've moved on to Donald's. Tomorrow they can move on to somebody else. You fucking lying piece of shit.
Will
Progress.
not. Look, I love President Trump. You're not going to turn me on him. You're not going to pit him against me.
Not trying to pit him against you. That's what you said to him.
And I am standing. I have
You're the
seen
one
the
that said
broken
it to
trust.
him.
I have seen the lack of accountability.
He's such a douche.
Well, we are getting
Such a
phone
douche.
calls saying that we need to stop this. Kevin does
All
not
right.
have the votes for
I got
speaker.
it.
Period.
Thank
we need
you.
to find a consensus candidate, get this right, and get our country back on track. Thanks so much, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
The whole thing was dirty from start to finish. He starts with a flawed premise. You told this to President Trump. And why aren't you standing up the same way? Because it's not the same situation, Sean.
Yeah, it's sort of like, say, you signed that DARE contract for Nancy Reagan. Why did you pick up that joint? Or,
Yeah.
how dare you do this in the house of God? Stop trying to make these like religious arguments of, oh, you did something against somebody that we both should be worshiping. No, fuck you, Hannity. She's standing on principle, which is a rare thing in DC. And I actually have a lot of respect for these people who sticking their heads out on the chopping block like this, because they are going to lose their committee assignments. They are going to take a lot of hits. People aren't going to vote for their stuff. And it took a lot of balls to stand there in front of the 400 people in the room and be like, no.
How about Rand Paul? Could he be speaker? Literally anybody can be speaker. And I'm not just like exaggerating there. That's literally anybody. As long as they're, I guess, Americans. I don't even know if there's a provision that they have to be American.
I think they have to be an American citizen, but not, unlike the presidency, they don't have to have been born in the U.S., is my understanding.
So, yeah, I mean, in Congress, you don't have to have been born in the U.S. So, is there an order we need to watch these two from Crenshaw?
You probably should watch the second one first, but the second one's funnier. Real quick, because he's such a douchebag. You know who's not a douchebag? Keldrick. That's good people right there. Thank you, Keldrick. I didn't think it was possible for me to respect Sean less, but then he went and said that. I'm impressed, honestly. Yeah, there's no depth to which that guy's a piece of shit.
Nope.
And it takes people a while to catch on to it, but yeah, he's a garbage person.
Like I said, it is always funny to me when people are like, just go watch your Hannity. I don't watch Hannity.
No, because he's a dick.
All right. So this is the first of the two. Moving on from Hannity being a cocksucker to these people, we're gonna watch all three of the ones of Eye Patch here. This is the second one you sent me.
Yes. Get another scalp and another.
Oh, is that too loud?
That's fine to me, but
get another scalp and another scalp, whether it's Boehner or Paul Ryan or then McCarthy.
We got to stop there. This is Dan Crenshaw, you guys. That's the voice that you're hearing. Whether it's Boehner, whether it's Paul Ryan, or whether it's McCarthy, it's interesting that he chooses those three because remember, Boehner gets this the whole vote of confidence thing we've been talking about, that they want to take it back to just one person. It's a little loud. Okay, I'll try to adjust it. But where they want to take it back to one person, there was one of those started against Boehner, and that's why he stepped down. They never actually had the vote. And so
he knew he'd lose.
He knew he would. And then because they had no confidence left in the man, because he was a fucking piece of shit rhino. And then this is when McCarthy originally was going to step up. And they said, nah, fuck you, no. And so they brought in Paul Ryan, who turned out to be just as big of a rhino piece of shit. And now they're bringing McCarthy back because apparently they want to be led by rhino pieces of shit.
It's his turn, monkey. Look, Guy Benson is a little bit of a rhino. He's right on a lot of issues, but on a lot of them, he's pretty pretty fucking rhino-ish. But this clip would just be enraged me so much.
You're not going to get somebody who's perfect.
Yeah.
You're just not. The only way you're going to get your perfect candidate is if somehow you get nominated yourself. And I'm talking to people in general, not just you, Jack. The only way you're going to find somebody who agrees with you on everything is going to be if it's you. So it is okay that there are certain things that, okay, they're not right there with me, but okay.
Yeah.
And if you want proof, yeah, Sean, this is a great thing to bring up. If you want proof that Boehner was the wrong person, look at what happened when Nancy steps down. He fucking cried over her.
To be fair, he cries a lot.
I think he's a little bitch.
Yeah, but that's just it. Like, both his kids were giant lefties. And he
cried
like
over
a giant
Nancy.
Lefty. Yeah, I don't get it.
She's just such a great fuck off. Anyway, that's why we nominate you, Monkey. Hey, I'm not perfect, but I would be better than any of these shitbags. I promise you that. All right, here we go.
Get another scalp and another scalp, whether it's Boehner.
I did turn it down, guys. I'm not comfortable going much lower than that, so you might have to adjust your own volume. Sorry about that, guys.
Or Paul Ryan, or then McCarthy. Scalise would just be next, and we all know it. We just can't allow that to happen. That's why those of us are saying, like, look, you pushed us into this corner, so now we're saying we won't vote for anyone but.
You were pushed into a corner? Wait,
yeah, how dare
I'm sorry.
You?
What? You were pushed into a corner? They asked for 4 very simple things that would have cost him nothing except for the possibility, Jack, that he could be removed for being a shitbag. That's it.
Which, I mean, why would he want that? Even if he had conceded on like 3 out of 4, I think they would have gone for it.
Would cost him nothing. 3 of them probably would never get passed. Even if they weren't one in the House, they'd never go further than that. So even if you're like, I don't want this for the country, yeah, fuck it. Let's throw him a bone here.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even do it.
Concessions. No, it's the fact that these politicians have been out of the public eye for the interaction with the public for so long, they've forgotten why they were put there. And it's become this like nobility thing where they think they don't have to answer to anyone. They find this so morally reprehensible.
You pushed us into a corner. God damn you.
That's why those of us are saying, like, look, you pushed us into this corner, so now we're saying we won't vote for anyone but McCarthy. That's why we're saying it, because we cannot let the terrorists win.
What did he just say?
Yeah.
The terrorists?
He didn't say stochastic either.
He just called them terrorists.
Yep. The number one proponent of red flag laws just called these American servants who have done nothing wrong terrorists. I'm sure he missed out on his chance to join the J6 committee, but calling them terrorists is fucking horrible. What a scumbag.
Saying it because we cannot let the terrorists win. That's basically what's happening.
We cannot let the terrorists win. Oh, Dan, you piece of shit.
I was pissed when I heard that. I didn't believe he actually said it. It took me a while to find the clip. Sure enough, Guy Benson had it, and apparently it was on my Twitter timeline the whole time. But that's not the point.
We cannot let the terrorists win.
Yeah. He said that about sitting members of Congress who have done nothing wrong. Yet he supports the man who is wearing the Ukrainian flag as a representative of America. These people are warmongers and they're disgusting human beings.
What I tell you guys, they're treating them like political opponents that from the other side of the aisle. They're turning everything on them.
They're using lefty tactics to tear down people that just have a disagreement and want to be heard.
Well, I mentioned earlier, Jack, that I've seen right-wing media now starting to call them far right-wingers.
Yeah.
The far right. These fucking people.
Yeah, but you'll notice that most of these people were Trump supporters that are being ostracized, that are standing up and saying, we want some changes. That's why we got voted in. Jaeger pony. He must have lost the eye that sees reality.
He's dirty, and I'm getting more and more of that as we watch more of these. So I haven't seen this one either, Jack, and you haven't seen the one I'm going to show you after this. So let's see what the retard says here.
Handful of members is.
Sorry, guys, it's got to be up this loud on this one. There's a lot of background noise because of them doing an interview in a fucking hallway. What's wrong with you people? But adjust your volume. I will do my best not to interrupt too much, but you know that's not going to happen. So,
Very clearly looking for notoriety over principle.
He's going to make me drop N-bombs, Jack. Oh my God. Bit said what? They are obviously looking for notoriety over principle.
Yeah. Oh, it gets better.
I'm sure it does. But I can't let that part go.
You know, look how douchey he looks right there. Like, I'm so righteous. I just want to go bomb things.
Does that chick in the back kind of look like Michael Jackson when he turned white, or is that just me?
No, she does look vaguely familiar, but
look at the bottom part right here, the nose and the mouth and the chin. That's white. That's white Michael Jackson.
I think she had the same nose job as Michael Jackson, same surgeon probably.
Sorry, I don't mean to get distracted.
If she breaks out with woohoo, well, no.
Faithless, exactly. Principle is their entire stance.
Yeah.
And what's confusing so many of these Republicans here is they aren't familiar with principle.
Yeah, I think they're very thrown by the concept, but I cannot believe how many people are shitting on these 20 folks instead of saying, what is it that they want? What are the concessions that you can make to get their votes? Why won't you talk to them? I'm shocked by this because you would think some of the commentators would have more sense than this. Crenshaw acting like a douchebag, kind of par for the course because he's not getting his little warmonger way. But
look,
the pushback has been so dumb.
If you're a conservative down in Crenshaw's district, I would start taking clips and preparing my own primary run.
Yeah, this guy could get primaried real easily off these rude ass comments.
Yep. All right, let's. And we're only 6 seconds into this, and he's already said something so stupid we had to stop and have a discussion about it. Mm-hmm. Can't wait for the rest.
That's what it is. And anyone who suggests differently is in some kind of make-believe fantasy reality.
Well, then I'm an elf with magic arrows, you son of a bitch.
Anyone who disagrees is living in a magical fairy world. Oh, Dan. By the way, that's insulting to everyone out there who's listening. If you didn't get it, he just insulted you.
It's not true. They lost those debates. That should have been the end of it because that's how a team works, right? You hash this stuff out, you figure it out, and then you move on.
It's not how Congress works.
It's not even how teams work.
No,
somebody
really
on your team could be like, I think that's a bad play. We should do this one.
You hash it out. They lost the vote. No, they haven't. You're going to talk about magical fairyland that you're living in. They haven't lost shit. In fact, they hold all the power. And you hate that.
Yeah, because he's not getting his way. And he doesn't like people having this kind of influence except him.
I wish I could draw political cartoons because I would just do so many with him right now.
Yeah, because he's a douche. I mean, you could probably draw one of Zelensky fucking his eye hole.
But if you're a narcissist.
Here it comes. You didn't even make it past his like 3 words that he said.
Well, I'm just going. If you're a narcissist, I bet you have a lot to say on that, homie. Speaking from experience, are you? If you're a narcissist,
If you're a narcissist and you believe that your opinion is so much more important than everyone else's, then you'll keep going.
He does not understand principles at all. Like, no, we're doing this because this is what our voters want. Oh, you're a narcissist because you're not getting your way. Fuck you, Crenshaw. Sack of shit.
oh, I'm Farius Omegon. Thank you so much for the donation, because they are leftist. Neocons came out of Trotskyism in the 40s when he was hiding in Mexico and wrote his pamphlets on commie thought. Yeah, I can't disagree with you that a lot of them are lefties. I can't.
Yeah, no, they are.
Crenshaw here is not supposed to be one of those, though. But we're seeing the same thing happening with Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yep.
These people who came out and they were strong and were conservative values, and now they're falling in line behind McCarthy.
And you'll threaten to tear down the team for the benefit of the Democrats.
It does not benefit. This is a fucking this talking point. I'm so tired of hearing it. The only way Democrats benefit from this, the only way, is if the Republicans, that 201, if they start doing something really stupid, like either deciding to vote present, because I don't know if you know this, Jack, if they vote present, it doesn't count as a vote, and so the threshold to win lowers.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys start doing that kind of stupid shit, or your dumbasses make some deal with the Republican or with the Democrats, or you guys actually go over there and vote for Jeffries, that's the only way it benefits the Democrats at all. It has nothing to fucking do with them at all. Nothing. But see this dirty shit that they keep playing?
Just because of your own sense of self-importance. That's exactly what's happening here.
Okay. Help me out here, Jack. There are 4 demands. How many of those are specifically helping Gates or Roy or Boebert? How many of those specifically help them?
None.
Is any of them about getting on a specific committee?
No.
Any of them? It's just these conservative principles. We want a balanced budget. We want the Texas Border Patrol or the border plan voted on. We want term limits, which actually hurts them, you stupid son of a bitch.
Yeah, they tried this talking point earlier about them wanting committee assignments. And there's some weird rule where you have to suggest names for committees. So because each of the people that were dissenting on this had to fill out the form, basically, they nominated themselves for the stuff they wanted altered. So like that the intelligence community was in charge of the border per se. Chip Roy would attach his name to it. And they just did that to fill in the form. Somebody tried to throw a gotcha on him on that one, but it's just a perfunctory thing they have to do when they're going through this process of voting.
It's literally how they end up on committees too. It's like, I want to be on this committee, and then the steering committee is the one who makes those decisions. They have to. Yeah. This fucking asshole.
Yeah, but they're just following their.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, bud.
They were just following the required procedure, and somebody tried to use it as a gotcha, and Chip Roy shot that shit down real fast.
Yeah, and this is probably what Boebert was talking about, where in private, McCarthy had to apologize for lying, and what Matt Gaetz was so pissed off about being lied about.
Yep.
Yeah, because I don't know if you heard that part, Jack, but on during the votes today, in between the first and second, Matt Gaetz is so animated, you can hear him through the C-SPAN cameras yelling about being lied about.
Yeah, he was pissed, and rightfully so, I think.
But anyway, back to dipshit here.
sense of self-importance. That's exactly what's happening here. We will not vote for anyone else but McCarthy. These people think they're stubborn, we're more stubborn. They
think they're stubborn, we're more stubborn. Well, you know what? Your stubbornness doesn't matter. They could literally hold this up for all 2 years if they wanted to. Literally do it. All it takes is 5 of them.
think they're not going to get the committees they want. Well, obviously they won't, but it's going to be so much.
What'd you say, Dan? What did you just say? Because Sean kind of poo-pooed that idea that they were not going to get the assignments that they wanted. You just said it on the record, homie. You just proved it.
And this was before Hannity went live.
You just proved it, shithead.
Yep.
Worse than that. You know, they are enemies now.
There it is.
So they're terrorists and they're enemies.
Yes, they are enemies of the state, Monkey. They're enemies.
Oh my.
Dan Crenshaw has an enemies list. Be aware.
Dan, yeah, you remember the whole narcissistic thing you were talking about a moment ago?
Yeah.
You might want to look up the concept, my friend.
Yeah, I don't think that word means what you think it means.
They have made it clear that they prefer a Democrat agenda and a Republican.
Says the Rhino.
Okay, somebody help me out here. Where is the Democrat agenda in closing the border?
Opposing him is a Democrat agenda, you monster.
Where are the Democrats standing up for a balanced budget? It was the Democrats who changed the rule that they want to change back about the ability to question the speaker. I mean, I do Democrats talk? I don't know if they even talk about term limits. So at least 3 of the 4, are you fucking retarded?
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
If you live in Crenshaw's district, could you call his office? Because they won't take my calls. I don't live in his office. Will you call his office and just ask him if he is fucking retarded? Don't ask, just ask, is he retarded? Did whatever take out his eye hit his brain too?
Look, Monkey, he wears that as a bike helmet to protect his delicate little beefies from those evil disagreements. Because not only has he called them names, narcissistic, etc., he called them enemies. How fuck?
I'm sorry. Viking says, "Hey Dan, at least I can watch a 3D movie." Oh, that's fucked up. Jack, you still there? Uh-oh. Am I gone or is Jack on? Somebody in chat, let me know. Jack? Monkey? Am I here? Jack's gone. Okay. Just making sure, guys. We'll get him back as soon as he can. I did not silence Jack. You'll notice that there's no microphone with the cross out thing on it. No, he's fine. All right. Oh, there he went. Yeah, he'll be back in a second. Let's finish up with Dan here.
Made it clear that they prefer a Democrat agenda and a Republican one.
Liar. Dan Crenshaw, man. I used to have some respect for this guy, and I've pretty much lost all of it just based on this. Look, the red flag law thing, I know a lot of people were mad about that. I think that if you listen to how he talked about it, it was more nuanced than he was given credit for. And other than that, I haven't paid much attention to the guy, but just with 3 clips now, those 2 we just watched, which I hadn't seen before, and then the one we're going to see in a minute, I've lost all respect I have for this man. This guy is a douchebag. He is a piece of shit douchebag. Welcome back, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. Internet's acting up because my computer's old and grumpy.
Shit happens. That clip was done anyway, so we're gonna watch this next one. And I don't know if you heard it, but you missed Viking Buddha, who said that, "Hey Dan, at least I can watch a movie in 3D."
Nice.
That deserved that laugh. All right. So those two are newer. This is from yesterday, Jack. And it's actually yesterday from near the beginning of all of the stuff starting. And this is what old Danny had to say then.
Who are you hearing these renegade Republicans want to nominate, essentially, as
about renegade Republicans? Fox, y'all.
Speaker? Who's their person?
They don't have one.
There's
That's
no
a great
plan.
question. There's no plan.
Right.
They don't need a person. They literally don't.
They're being obstructionist. It's not their job to nominate someone.
Look at Twitter if you haven't. Tucker went after him. Oh, do we have video?
Yeah, I got that video.
Can you pull that up
on.
for us? We'll watch it after this.
Yeah, give me a minute because I had to shut some stuff down to get back on.
It's a video watching show. And you know the fucked up part is I have like 20 stories I was going to talk about, but
I know there's a bunch of them, but holy fuck, these people are such idiots.
yeah, the whole show might just be dedicated to this shit tonight. Anyway, so they don't have a plan. All right.
Great question. They keep acting like, they keep acting like they've got somebody in the wings.
They haven't done that once. Not once.
No, it's completely disingenuous.
They did originally were like, we're going to vote for Biggs, but they never did it to like, he's going to be the one everybody will vote for. It was just, this is what we're going to vote for instead. That was the original plan.
Just waiting. You'll see on the day of, right? They keep saying that.
They never said that once. Not once. You lying, disingenuous cunt. Sorry, YouTube. I know it's before the 2-hour mark, but I could not hold the cunt anymore.
They're like children. This is such a childish attempt at gaining more and more attention. You know,
they're just children. They're enemy terrorist children.
Yeah.
Or I guess in the proper order, they're children enemy terrorists.
why they say it like that? Because they want you to interview them again.
Really, Dan? Dan, how many times have you been interviewed since the start of this? Because I counted at least 3. At least 3, Jack.
That's why they're doing it. Please interview. You'll see if you just put me on TV just one more time, please. Then I'll tell you who we're going to go for. But here's the thing: they've got.
What? Could he be more dismissive of them?
Probably not.
It would be less dismissive if he just said, I don't want to talk about them. That would be less dismissive than what we're seeing right here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because he's intentionally insulting them for no reason. This gains him nothing. This just entrenches them further. Oh, my God, Dan Crenshaw attacked us. Wow, my feelings are hurt, said nobody ever.
Got nobody. Even if they did, I promise you, there's a ton of Republicans who will not vote for them. They will not vote for anyone except Kevin McCarthy. Because here's the thing.
Now, I want to point out, this is before it all started, Jack. We see this one from CNN where he says that, no, it was the Fox News one, that the interview where we don't see his face, where he's like, this is just causing us to not vote for anybody but McCarthy. Well, which is it? Was that from before, or is it because this happened? Oh, you didn't expect anybody to pay attention, did you, Dan? Just because you don't listen to your own self when you're talking, they just want to be on TV as you're on TV.
Well, look, that guy lives in the land of hypocrisy. He's the same one that wanted to take away Second Amendment rights, institute red flag laws, and yet hides behind his military service as how great he is for the country.
Look, I appreciate your military service, Dan, but you're a fucking retard. You are a douchebag.
Yeah, and very un-American.
For the record, they're talking about him wearing the eye patch. If I lost an eye, I wouldn't get a glass eye. I would wear an eye patch like a fucking pirate. I'm not going to lie to you.
I'd probably get an eye patch with an eye embroidered on it.
Maybe that, sure.
Because that'd creep people out to no end. But look, I respect that he was a Navy SEAL, but I think that he has really misunderstood what it means to be courageous and brave and standing up for America. Because what these reps doing, like what they're doing or not, is a pretty brave stance. They have a lot of people shitting on them, and they're risking a lot. They're taking a huge step, and there's a good chance they're going to get screwed by it.
Now, he's going to explain to us how this all works. And I can't promise you how many times I'm going to pause in here because he explains it in such a ass backward wrong way that it's actually painful.
Here's the thing. This is a general election.
No, it's not.
All right, we had our primary election and Kevin McCarthy won with 85% of the vote.
That's not the same thing. What he's talking about is the leadership vote, which is not the same thing as the Speaker of the House vote. Those are two entirely separate things. Because remember, anybody can be Speaker. It doesn't have to be the leader of the party. It just doesn't. But anyway.
That's a primary election.
Nope.
Now we're in the general election.
Nope.
So if you're not voting for our GOP nominee, you are voting for Democrats.
I told you guys he pulled this shit. He pulled if you're not voting for our side, you're voting for theirs. The shit that you do here in a general election, which at least kind of makes sense. Because you took a vote away from us. Even if you threw it away, that's a vote we could have had. Okay, in an actual general election, there's a little bit of truth to that. But that's not how this works. There's no way Jeffries becomes the Speaker of the House, even if these 20 people never vote for McCarthy. That's not how it works.
No, but he's trying to make it out like, well, here's our candidate. You must vote for them because, nobody's ever voted third party ever in the history of elections.
And what he's doing here is basically calling them Democrats. So now they are childish, Democrat, terroristic enemies.
Yes. Yes. It's a long list of mean words because he's a
I can't wait. Can't wait till he gets to call them Nazis.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, he would probably be willing to throw them in with the J6 rioters.
You are enabling Democrats. And let's make something very clear.
You're enabling Democrats, and whoever it is, you can't see them, and the voices aren't distinct enough. Somebody on Fox News there goes, "Yep, you're enabling Democrats."
Sure that's Steve Ducey.
Yep. That's not true at all.
Nope.
It's just a fucking lie.
Yeah.
You know who is technically the Speaker of the House? If Kevin isn't sworn in, it is a clerk who is appointed by Nancy Pelosi.
Well, then maybe you should listen to what these people are saying and end that nonsense, huh?
No. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Because the only thing that can happen in the House right now, the only thing is the vote for Speaker.
Yeah.
So if you're going, well, she's the person who's in charge right now. She's not the Speaker of the House. She cannot go, okay, fuck it. I'm just going to be Speaker. Let's get on with the House business. Bullshit. Her only job is to facilitate getting the actual Speaker elected. Yeah, so be like, oh, it's the Nancy Pelosi appointed person. You lying fuck.
If he's so upset about this person being in charge of a vote, maybe he should tell McCarthy to have a sit down with these people and find out what's going to get them to vote for him. Instead of just sitting here bitching on Fox News for a couple of days.
Yeah, not just bitching, slandering them on Fox News.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to be really disappointed if this asshole doesn't get primaried in his next election. He has given Democrat talking points over a trivial disagreement. All they had to do was sit down and talk to these people and give a few concessions. And he's instead handing the Democrats videos to hold against these people later. Like, oh, look, one of your own party called you a traitor. You're an enemy. You're a terrorist. How can you say that shit and help your political enemies, alleged political enemies?
Yeah. He called them
scumbag
terrorists.
Yeah, Sean, he does just have sand in his mangina.
So the only person you're empowering are the Democrats. The
Wrong.
Democrats are cheering. The Democrats are so happy that this is all happening.
Well, they actually are, but you shouldn't be worried about them at all because all you have to do is look at them and go, shut up. You guys have no chance. You can be laughing at this all you want. You're losers. That's all you have to do, Dan. And instead, you're the one who's making a big deal about it. Like, can you believe the Democrats? Look, they're laughing at us. You're fucking retard.
Because these guys and these girls wanted to make this happen. They wanted so much notoriety. Their own sense of self-aggrandizement is so important to them that they needed to make this happen.
It's just their sense of self-aggrandizement. You're a dick.
Yep.
You are a piece of shit. Fuck.
Hey, maybe he could get a sweet CNN gig like Adam Kissinger just got.
Do we have, hang on, I want to see if I can find this on YouTube, the full thing. I'm guessing this is from his opening. Da-da-da. Tucker. No, not Tucker the dog. I don't know who that is. Who did that
dog
come
named
up?
Tucker.
I have never searched for a dog named Tucker.
Well, you apparently should have.
All right, this is the opening from tonight. Oh, it's only 5 minutes long, too. Cool. So that should only take us about half an hour.
I got all night.
You guys watch me. It's your fault. You enable this shit. Okay. By the way, over on the Rumble, hi guys. I do see you. Hope you're well over there. You guys on YouTube, I kind of see you sometimes. Hit the like button. Hit the Rumble button. Donate if you would. Links are at the top. Tell your friends, your family that bitch you hate. Get them here watching because we're funny and right.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be funny. It's another thing to be funny and correct.
It's difficult.
All right.
It's a good thing we're very attractive people.
It really is. It's a nice thing to fall back on.
It is.
All right, Tucky, take it away.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson. Tonight, here's the latest summarized. Kevin McCarthy badly wants to be the next Speaker of the House, but as of tonight, he is not going to be. He doesn't have the votes. It's not a question of...
Did you talk to Sean Hannity about this? Because I would be very interested to see him and Sean talk about this.
Yeah, but he's on before Sean, so.
And I'm sorry, Sean, he's smarter than you.
Oh, well, that's difficult.
And remember, I think, especially when it comes to economics, he's wrong on a lot of shit. But anyway, maybe he's been more red-pilled as he's gone on Fox. I don't know, but
I think he has in the last few years.
Because he's certainly written some let's call it questionable material on finance.
Yeah, he's not very good at economics.
I think Tucker doesn't like Hannity. Well, I'm fairly certain that over this, the two of them probably don't talk in the hall. Yeah. But anyway, let's listen to this. I interrupted at 14 seconds, and I wasn't even disagreeing with anything.
Yeah, no, I just want to say that Sean Hannity has a big lumpy head.
It looks like a pumpkin. It really does.
It does.
Because it's turning orange.
He's turning into what's that actor that played Butch Cassidy, the Sundance Kid, not the skinny dude that played
Redford.
Yeah. Not Paul Newman, the other guy. Yeah, Redford. That dude's got a ginormous noggin. Have you ever noticed that?
Oh yeah.
He has like Kennedy-sized head.
Ted, not Bobby.
Yeah.
All right. And certainly not JFK because, half of that's missing.
Well, I mean, post-surgery.
I'm half the man I used to be.
Of who's good or who's bad, who's well-intentioned, who's not. It's a question of simple electoral math, something that Kevin McCarthy is highly familiar with since he does this for a living. At this point, as of right now, facing that mathematical reality, Kevin McCarthy has two choices. He can either step aside and let somebody else do the job, acknowledging in the process that he is not the only person in Congress capable of being Speaker.
Never going to happen. Well, it might happen, but even if he did that, it's not going to be because somebody else can be speaker. It's that it was stolen from him. Watch. Just watch.
Or he can try and win over the people who oppose him, as you traditionally do in elections.
Which he should have done before this vote. And this is why I don't think they'll ever come on board, Jack, because he had every opportunity leading up to that first vote 2 days ago.
Yep. But
And-
he's like, nope, you'll fall in line. Do what I tell you.
Yep.
You shall kiss the ring.
Do what I tell you or do what I tell you. Those are your choices.
Yeah, do what I tell you, or Rogers is going to pull your committee assignments.
Yep.
You shall be punished for your disloyalty.
Traditionally do in elections. Or you've got reservations about Kevin McCarthy? You don't want to be ruled by a man who wears a Ukrainian flag lapel pin and lives with Frank Luntz? No.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about that. McCarthy once was living with one of his major donors.
Oh, he still is.
Is he still at this time?
Yeah. Yeah, because of the pandemic, he moved in and rented a room from Frank Lutz. He talks about that in another segment. That weirds me out because Frank Lutz is not a Republican.
Yep.
And he's got a big potato head too.
I'm glad that, well, in fairness, Tucker's starting to look like Mr. Mackey. But I am glad he brought up the whole part about the Ukrainian thing because that is not getting mentioned very often. And frankly, of all of the shit I've seen from McCarthy, the most offensive to me is that motherfucker wore he didn't even wear an American flag pin with it.
That's what offended me the most about it.
He wore a Ukrainian flag pin and a Ukrainian snot rag on the floor of the house.
Yep.
His loyalties are not with America. And I'm not saying that he's a traitor, Jack. I'm just saying America is not his primary goal.
I won't say he's necessarily a traitor, but he sure wears the uniform really well. And I'm pretty sure his name is Benedict Arnold.
What, Mr. Mackey? Yeah, look at how it's starting to get the balloon shape.
Mr. Mackey, Kai, drugs bad. Look, I respect Tucker way more than any of the potato head people. I find people with really, really large bulbous heads, not like you have a big head, but like you could be the great pumpkin.
Yeah.
To be largely untrustworthy.
I look, I'm not just going to be nice to him because I agree with him on many things, but I mean he does have a funny shaped head.
Yeah.
And largely right now it's that he's getting a double chin. Tucker, back off the snacks, man. I know you're getting older and stuff. You just got to, switch to some granola for a while.
Leave the pie alone.
Ukrainian flag lapel pin and lives with Frank Luntz? No problem. We get it. Let us tell you how he's better than you think he is. Let us try and change your mind.
God, that sounds familiar. We've been saying that for 2 days. Huh. And it's not that we're that smart. We've told you this before. It's just common sense. If you're trying to get people on your side, you don't berate them. You don't treat them like shit. You don't call them terrorists.
Let us try to convince you. In a normal race, that's what you would do. But that is not what Kevin McCarthy's team is doing.
Nope.
Instead, like the left, they purport to oppose.
I could kiss this man. I could kiss him. Thank you. Yes, they are acting like the left. They are absolutely 100% acting like the left.
Yep.
Especially Crenshaw. So I'm guessing that's how we get to the Crenshaw stuff. I haven't seen this, so I have no idea. But if that's what he's saying, I bet that's where we get to Crenshaw.
Like the left, they purport to oppose. They're
coming from a host who doesn't show his face. Dude, I've mentioned I am pretty, but I have a giant head. I've made no mistake about that, or no excuses about that. I've been very upfront about the fact I have a giant head.
We're both Irish, so
yeah,
big heads from those islands. We just don't have pumpkin-sized heads the way that like Hannity and a Kennedy would. We don't look like Doctor Who villains. Hannity's a Suntarn.
In a normal race, that's what you would do. But that is not what Kevin McCarthy's team is doing. Instead, like the left, they purport to oppose. They're
Preach
using
it.
threats and fear to force people to support
Preach
the
it.
candidate. Anyone who opposes Kevin McCarthy, one of his surrogates explained today, is, quote, an enemy, a, quote, terrorist.
Yep, he's talking about old Dan. We just watched those clips. Hey, Sean Hannity, this is how you do research, man. See, I didn't need to go read what was it, the town hall that he sourced instead of just mentioning that she said it on the floor. I don't have to do that, man. Just go to the source, dickhead.
No.
It really annoyed me that he had to pull up. You weren't there for that, Jack, but he had to quote a newspaper instead of just mentioning that she literally said it on the House floor.
Yeah, I saw the interview and I was like, man, you were such a disingenuous interviewer. No wonder people don't go on your show, you idiot.
Whoever his interns are, even if they're unpaid, they are paid way too much. And for the love of God, somebody please tell him the number's 201. Anyway, here we go.
That's their message. In a moment, we'll tell you how that message is working. But first tonight, in the summer of 2016, the government transparency organization WikiLeaks.
Wait, how did we get onto WikiLeaks? No. Sean. Oh, all right. So now we need the other video. Damn it, Sean. Do
you mean Tucker?
Or yeah, Tucker. See, Sean done fucked me all up. Okay, no big deal. I have that one still pulled up. Damn it.
Damn it,
Kyle.
Yet today, Congressman Dan Crenshaw of Texas.
This is louder than the other one was. Bring that down.
It's Twitter. What do you want?
Bring it down just a touch. All right, so now he's getting into Crenshaw being an asshole.
Yet today, Congressman Dan Crenshaw of Texas, a surrogate for Kevin McCarthy, did. In fact, he did what neocons always do. He labeled anyone who doesn't like a terrorist. Watch.
Those of us are saying, like, look, you pushed us into this corner, so now we're saying we won't vote for anyone but McCarthy.
And again, I want to point out that on Fox and Friends the day before, he was saying they weren't going to vote for anybody but McCarthy anyway. So not only is he a dickhead, he's a lying dickhead.
Look, your hate facts, they're very troublesome, monkey. Don't get yourself on a list because old One Eye there is making a list. One-Eyed Willie has got an enemies list. He said so. He said if you don't agree with him, you're an enemy. So don't be on his list, monkey.
You terrorist.
You won't be able to see it out of one side of his face, but that's not the point.
Wait, does this mean he's going to send the FBI after us now because we're terrorists?
Probably. It's like we went to a school board meeting or something.
That's why we're saying it, because we cannot let the terrorists win.
I still can't believe you fucking said that.
I can't believe he said it. I cannot believe this asshole called him terrorists. Dan Crenshaw,
fucking repulsive.
You are a bad person.
Yeah.
Nah, I blame Sean anyway. I do blame Sean. I haven't seen Sean Hannity in literal years. And I see him, and the first thing he does is piss me off. Literally from the jump, Jack. From the fucking jump, I was mad.
Yeah, because he's a fucking cock. And not like a normal one, but one of those weird, like, retarded ones. It's all deformed.
Yeah.
Look, I think what they're doing here is incredibly dangerous and stupid. They're acting a lot like the people prosecuting the J6 rioters, alleged rioters. It's disgusting. How dare you talk about somebody that has a minor disagreement with you that's trying to get a policy change as terrorists?
Yeah.
Don't make that word meaningless, you idiot. Sorry, this really pissed me off today.
No, I agree 100%. I just had nothing to add, so I was going back into the video.
The terrorists win.
Terrorists, fuck you.
Oh, they're terrorists now. It's hard not to see the connection because over the past few years, pretty much every part of the war on terror has been turned against the domestic political enemies of the neocons.
By the way, I just want to point out, Marjorie Taylor Greene was actually sitting on the same bench with McCarthy today. She had been sitting up in the gallery, but she was actually right down 2 spots away from him today. Little suck up twat.
Yeah, she's become a pretty big sellout.
All right. I got distracted by seeing her ugly ass. Anyway.
See the connection, because over the past few years, pretty much every part of the war on terror has been turned against the domestic political enemies of the neocons.
True.
So now they're just coming out and telling you what they told you about Iraq. Either you're with us or you're against us.
Yep.
You're on the side of light or darkness. You're good or evil.
You're Vader.
How dare you have disagreements within the group? Be in lockstep. Be a good communist.
Dan Crenshaw went all the way, as neocons always do. He proceeded to go to CNN to call his political opponents enemies of the state. Looking for a little Soviet-style politics? Watch this.
This handful of members is very clearly looking for notoriety over principle. And that's what
I know. We watched this already, but are you fucking asshole? The ones standing up for principle are the ones you're saying are looking for notoriety over principle. How did lightning not strike this motherfucker?
I don't know.
God, you weren't paying attention. Lightning. Okay.
Well, you won't be able to see God out of his right side.
It'd be easier to hit him. He can't dodge as well.
Look, I really hate doing this because there's no reason to be treating these people this way.
Nope.
You never see the Democrats do this to their own.
Well,
this sort of internal bickering is really unhelpful at a time when they have a narrow majority.
Just one point of order there. I mean, they have kind of done this to Cinema and Manchin, not necessarily calling them terrorists, but calling them, Republicans in disguise. But I get your meaning. They didn't go this hard, especially this quick over something so easily fixed.
Yeah. All he has to do is put stuff up for a vote. It's not like they're asking for I want, filet mignon every day at our lunch break.
Mm-hmm.
No, they were asking for procedural stuff that people have been asking for ages. They're so out of touch with their own base, and it shows. And to go on and call them enemies and terrorists is disgusting.
And don't forget the Democratic enabling children.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Yeah, I'm really disappointed with these people.
Sorry, I stepped on you there. Go ahead.
I'm just so disappointed with the way these people are acting. It's outright pathetic, especially Crenshaw. I mean, I have no expectations for that garbage person, but a little civil decorum goes a long way.
is very clearly looking for notoriety over principle. That's what it is. And anyone who suggests differently is in some kind of make-believe fantasy reality. But if you're a narcissist and you believe that your opinion is so much more important than everyone else's, then you'll keep going. And you'll threaten to tear down the team for the benefit of the Democrats just because of your own sense of self-importance. That's exactly what's happening here. We will not vote for anyone else but McCarthy. These people think they're stubborn when we're stubborn. They think they're not going to get the committees they want. Well, obviously they won't, but it's going to be so much worse than that. They are enemies now.
They are enemies now. I want to see all of that because CNN obviously put that up. I want to see it uncut.
Yeah, I haven't been able to find anything uncut on this.
Well, in the clip.
Oh,
sorry.
Even the one we saw earlier that was from CNN was edited.
Yeah, and that we'll probably never see it because that's how it was presented to the public. They took the parts that they wanted and they showed it up. I want to see the entire thing, though. Yeah, so CNN, release that footage.
Check your Streamlabs, dude.
Oh, shit. It's not going off again? Jesus Christ. It was going off earlier.
Ah, that was a trick.
You guys can hear it when I do. So sorry about that. Dark Resurrect, thank you so very much for the feminist $12. Update on my granddad. He's still unresponsive, but they managed to remove the clot that caused the stroke. He's been intubated and is still unconscious. Dude, all the best. I wish nothing but the best for him, man. I'm so sorry. So sorry.
Yeah, sorry, man. That sucks.
He had a stroke and he was unresponsive earlier, and at least they got the clot. At least that's something, and hopefully he recovers.
Yeah, praying for you, man. That blows.
Nuts asks, why is he the only one saying this, or is he? Which only one? Are you talking about Tucker, or are you talking about that shitbag Crenshaw? Because Crenshaw's not the only one saying this shit. He's just been the loudest. He seems to be the pit bull that they sent out to be their attack dog.
Well, he's never met a camera he doesn't like.
But if you're watching Twitter, there's several of them who are saying similar kind of things. Marjorie Taylor Greene has started doing the shit. She did it yesterday.
Yeah. We're going to see more Republicans come out in support of McCarthy doing this crap because they're trying to bully everyone. And maybe that'll work. I don't know. I hope not. But
look, if you're in the United States, call your congressman and tell them to drop McCarthy.
Yeah. I really think Scalise could win, and they'd have a lot easier time getting him in if they would just give some concessions to these Freedom Caucus people. Yep. It's not like they're asking for a lot. It's really not.
So you may like Kevin McCarthy or not. Both are allowed.
I don't.
But no matter how you feel, you have to acknowledge, if you're being honest, that people who don't like Kevin McCarthy have a reason for that.
Yep.
They have real concerns, real issues. But you'll notice that Dan Crenshaw didn't address any of those, none of them. Instead, he impugned their motives, their character, their intelligence, their moral standing. They're narcissists. In fact, and we're quoting, they are enemies now.
Narcissistic, Democrat support, or Democrat enabling, childish, enemy terrorists. Yeah, we've been forgetting the narcissistic part because, he did call them that too.
Yeah, Viking brings up a good point. If one of your Congress people is one of these 20, call them and tell them you support them.
Yes, indeed.
Because that'll help strengthen their resolve quite a bit.
Crenshaw also called them basically media hounds as well. He's really trying to win them over.
Yeah, in all of his media appearances, he calls them media whores.
Right? Hey, I'm gonna have to have my cousin hit him up and go, hey Dan, you forgot poo-poo head. It's the one insult you haven't used yet.
Yeah. Maybe they could get him mad enough to drop like a F slur.
Right?
Because I bet he would. I bet you could get him to drop a real nasty word to catch it on camera.
Now, what you just saw, as Dan Crenshaw spoke, what you just saw is the snarling face of the donor class.
Now, see, this is why I was really hoping we could find the full clip, because I knew this was going to end before he went on to everything. Fox, did you guys put out any? Did we get the whole one here? Hang on. Nope, this is from yesterday. There's a guy out there who puts up full episodes. I wish I could remember who it was.
I don't remember his name.
Anyhow, but so there you go, guys. There's at least Tucker called him out. It'd be interesting to see, anybody. We saw Fox and Friends from the day before all this really kicked off. It was the day it kicked off, agreeing with Crenshaw. We see Sean Hannity on McCarthy's dick, man. He's riding it as like he's going to town, and he needs to get there quick. It'd be interesting to see anybody else in conservative media come up and go, no, this is bullshit. What's happening is bullshit, and you're making it worse because you're not even thinking about offering concessions.
Yep.
Oh, all right, guys. There it is for that. I do want to get to one more story before we wrap up tonight, though, Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Because you've been covering this a lot more than I have. We have some more news coming out about the Idaho 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, before we get to that, I just want to address this one real quick. We saw this after we left the air yesterday. Buster from Dave and Buster's passed away yesterday. He shot himself, guys. He'd had a stroke a couple months back, and according to his daughter, he wasn't the same, and he was having trouble dealing with it and took the easy way out. And I don't mean to be dismissive when I say it that way, but it really is. That's the easy way out.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's horrible. If you're in such a position, please get all the help that you can, because it's sad. He had a lot of life left to go, man. He was only 72. 72 is young these days. So it sucks. And my condolences to his family. And if you're in such a position, please get help. Doesn't mean you'll always find it, but please try. That one was sad, man.
Yeah.
All right. So we had a couple of stories came out about our shooter. Oh, sorry, stabber. Whoops. I'm just so used to it being a shooter, Jack.
I know.
I forgot he went all London on us. So he changed his license plate 5 days after the slayings.
Yeah.
He he had the plates from Pennsylvania still, and for some reason 5 days after the killings he decided, what I really need to do is finally update my plates to Washington.
Convenient timing.
I mean, I know that when there's a slaying in my town, that's usually when I remember I need to update my tags.
Yeah, I mean, if you gotta get the blood off. I mean,
yeah, so I don't know. Does that mean he did it? No, but it's not a good look for him. But the one that was more interesting to me, Jack, I don't know if you saw this headline. The FBI is the reason that they got pulled over. We talked yesterday, I think it was, about how they'd been pulled over. There's video of one of the stops. And I told you guys, I didn't understand why they stopped him. And officially they were pulled over for tailgating. But I saw the video and they never got close to that truck.
no, that's always an excuse the cops use if they want to pull someone over.
And we have confirmation of that today. The FBI surveillance team tracked Idaho quadruple murder suspect Brian Koberg, is that how you say it, Koberg, and his father on a cross-country road trip from Washington State to Pennsylvania, and asked Indiana police to pull him over, a law enforcement source told Fox. What they specifically wanted what you see right here. They wanted pictures of his hands. Now, why his hands, Jack? You know why, right?
Oh, yeah, because stabbing, his hands probably got cut up.
Most of the time when there's a stabbing incident like this, the person cuts themselves in the process, typically their hands.
Your hands get bloody and they slip on the knives.
Mm-hmm. So I was correct. He wasn't actually tailgating. They were ordered to pull him over by the FBI. And kind of dirty, if I'm being honest.
It's pretty scummy and possibly a civil rights violation, but I don't know. It is scummy, but I think this guy was already on the radar before that.
Well, he was, obviously, because they were tracking him.
Yeah,
you could have pulled him over on suspicion and drug him in to talk to him. They can do that. The police can do that.
Yeah, that's a equally shitty tactic, but
at least it's on the up and up.
Yeah, well, I mean, the FBI on the up and up, really, monkey?
Well, I wasn't talking about them. I was talking about like law enforcement in the area.
Oh, well,
we've been asked to bring you in because of the out there, Idaho. They asked us to just have a discussion with you. Come on in and chat with us, and they don't even have to come in. You just go to their house and talk to them for a second. I don't want to go in. All right, fine. We got pictures of your hands. Is what we were here for anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was interesting to me that I was right. Don't question monkey. I'm always right most of the time.
I'm always right most of the time.
I am. And it's absolutely true.
Great, accurate representation of the show.
I am always right most of the time.
Most of the time.
So yeah, they pulled his ass over because the FBI was like, "We need you guys to take pictures of his hands." that was interesting. I didn't realize the FBI did shit like that. I mean, I'm not shocked, but I'm honestly shocked that they took time out. You know what? I know what happened. Those 80 people are no longer looking at Twitter, so they had time to actually do real law enforcement shit.
Oh my God, it's crazy talk, Monkey, because nobody's looked at Epstein's catalog yet.
Yeah, they're still not looking at that because there's probably some of their names on there as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I had, Jack. And we are at 2.5 hours. I do need to do a game stream because I didn't do one yesterday. So all of the other shit I had tonight is going to have to wait. Guys, thanks for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out, the Rumble button on your way out. Tell your friends, your family that bitch you hate to come watch the show. They can watch it in review. They can watch the VOD, as the kids say.
Indeed.
No cap. Thank you for
dead
dead ass. Thank you for. It's such a dirty term, dead ass.
This show slaps, Monkey.
It does slap. It's fire. It's lit. It's neat. It's radical
with the kids.
It's groovy.
It's very gnarly, as the kids would say in the 80s.
Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Thank you for the donations. Bubba, are we what day is this?
I don't know. It's Thursday, technically.
Bubba, are you off tonight? I have no idea what day is what. Stop, Monkey. What I did?
Look, we were a little too fresh with our words, so the squares are upset.
Oh God, yeah, it's hip to be square. I've heard that.
It's a fact. It is hip to be square.
Except it's actually not.
The Revenge of the Nerds says otherwise, Monkey.
You know who says it's hip to be square? Squares.
And
Huey Lewis was a square. Yeah. The dude looked like a dad doing pop music. I
know, it was hilarious.
And I'm not a big fan of the sound either. My favorite Huey Lewis in the News song is Ghostbusters.
He didn't sing that. Ray Parker Jr. did.
But it's with their music.
Oh, fair enough.
So
yeah, look, I like Huey Lewis in the News. I think they're an underrated band because they were very fun pop. But I agree to disagree on this. But yeah, he did look like an old man singing like, I'm cool with the kids.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for the donations. Really do appreciate it. You guys are so kind to us, and we can't thank you enough. You keep us eating, which we appreciate.
Yeah, I like to eat. Fat.
If you have the means and you don't donate, you're probably a terrorist. That's what Dan Crenshaw told me.
Yeah, we're just using the rules set out by the Republican leadership.
Yeah. Now, if you don't have the means, it's fine. But if you have the means and you don't, you're just a terrorist. So I'm just saying, totally bitchin' show. Jack, anything you want to show tonight?
Yeah, there's this totally tubular video that's pretty good. So I'm going to drop that link. But thank you guys for the donations. And thanks for coming out and supporting us. You guys are, in fact, awesome.
I'll be over on twitch.tv/Ranting Monkey playing some Phasmophobia with the Hobo Bubba. We'll be over there in just a few minutes, probably half an hour. So come hang out there, twitch.tv/Ranting Monkey. Thank you guys for hanging out. Jack, a pleasure as always.
I'm always glad to be here.
Everyone, have a wonderful night. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
Dan Crenshaw is a one-eyed cocksucker.